Good morning. Welcome to freaking early when where's Mark? Mark's probably in bed, sleeping his little head, thinking to himself, man, freedom was ringing loud last night, and I can't get up in the morning. It's a good thing I got somebody who wakes up even earlier in the morning who can cover my ass. I'm tired. I'm really freaking tired still. I forgot I had this show and I was up late last night, but I got up. I'm here. You know who else is here? Because it's not so early in the morning where he's at. Dr. Von Hoot, good day to you, sir. Mm. I hope your 5th of July is very fifty. I don't know what that means. Uh, yeah, I'm sure yesterday had a great laugh at the 4th of July. I think in the UK should be, you got what you asked for, you stupid fuck. It is the weirdest freaking shit. 4th of July. I'm sorry. I used to see it one way and I see it completely different these days now with but we're not gonna get into politics or anything. So forget it. Never mind. I'm moving on. Let's talk about comics. What are you reading? Anybody reading anything interesting? What am I reading? Of course, Transformers. That has been really interesting. I know Dr. Von Hoot's a fan of Transformers. Um, never read Transformers before this, really. I mean, I take it back. I read Last Bot Standing. For some reason, that story intrigued me, so I read it. But before that, I was never a Transformers guy. Daniel Warren Johnson, he's done something. Definitely that. Uh, he's made a story that's interesting. I mean, you don't know who's going to go at any given time. That's probably the most interesting bit. Characters who traditionally you felt were safe characters, they'd be around. They're merchandising characters. Sorry, bye. Nice to know you. The only character that you tend to think might be safe from any given moment, although he seems to take the most damage, is of course Optimus. And he almost died, but instead they sacrificed a human for him. Still not understanding how that worked exactly. How did Spike's dad walk into the leadership matrix and all of a sudden Prime came back? It's a bit weird to me, but maybe it's something in lore that I don't know about. Maybe I don't know. Yeah, he knows that leading in G1 still feels new. Yeah, well, it definitely feels new. I mean, at least to me. I mean, I guess maybe I don't know if these types of battles were going on where it was really this desperate and scraping tooth and nail, and it's like even the Decepticons with their no reverence towards the human life still just can't take a foothold in anything. Um, yeah, yeah. I was afraid of that. It's like the holiday was a long holiday and I wasn't informed. Um, yeah, the Matrix thing is new to everyone. There's been a lot of discussion about it. Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, I don't. I mean, I know that obviously something about the leadership matrix we've heard about. I'm sorry, adjust my camera. It was annoying me. I was too low in the camera frame. Made me look even shorter than people seem to think I am. So yeah, there's something about that with some kind of giving it new powers or leaderships or whatever. Anyways, I don't have to flounder completely by myself anymore. Madam, who's been pinging me since before I even woke up to say, Rob, give me the link. And so when I woke up this morning, I was like, God damn, woman, hold on.
Well, some people are up early, you know?
I am, but but I'm not
some
that. I'm just not up that early.
Well, some people are excited to be on the show, Rob.
Some of us go, oh shit, I got to be on the show. Why do we always come here? Let's see, what is this? It's definitely logically. Yeah, that's true. Superman has died in his own comic, so it'd be feasible that Optimus Prime can die under his. Yeah, I mean, but Yeah, I mean, Superman's died and he's come back, and Optimus has died and he's come back. I mean, I like the fact that like when they brought Jetfire sort of back, and he's kind of like really more or less almost like just a vehicle right now at this standpoint, and not he's not all himself. He can't. He's not really. He's not really there. I don't know. It's kind of like well, he's partially brain dead. Yeah, there you go. That's a good I would say analogy. He got in a horrible accident. He's not all he's deprived of some stuff, and now he's gone. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you hear that. There's a rustling around going on, like it's I don't know, like a bunch of rats. How you doing, Izzy?
Hi, Izzy.
Hey guys, I'm extremely tired.
No.
Yeah. But you know what? We're in your car, which is what we expect.
Yeah, exactly. What do you expect it from me, especially on a Friday morning after 4th of July week? I'm tired and there's no parking. Welcome to New York.
Yeah. Today for me is that eternal day where it's the day after a holiday. It's always it was a Thursday. Well, Friday is my normal trash day, so it's a question of is your trash going to get picked up today or not? Because sometimes it's delayed because they're behind a day, and sometimes it's not. And so you got to put it out, but damn it, it takes up space. It smells bad. All this other crap. Like the old days when people used to just come and go down the side yard and pick up your trash can for you.
Yeah, they still do that. They still pick up our trash around here. They just, it's homeless people doing it. So, oh well.
Interesting. So Jetfire was Hasbro's decision. I didn't know Hasbro still had say in over some of this stuff. Daniel Jordan Johnson wanted him a dead functioning ship, because Hasbro forced him to still be alive, which is still way more tragic. Yeah, especially since he's alive, but he's not. I mean, it's just kind of really weird. Yeah.
What, Jetfire?
He's kind of right now in the comics. We're talking about the current comics. That Jetfire essentially he's almost like a brain dead transformer. He's a ship that can function, but he can't really transform into a bot and do anything else, and he's kind of like in this weird halfway in between world. It's interesting. But then again, I guess it just shows another ramifications. Look at war. I mean, Optimus is still running around with Megatron's arm, and you got bots dead that you didn't think were going to die, and there's like real life ramifications. My God, and they're not coming back.
Real life ramifications.
And what with Ratchet? Yeah, in a comic. Yeah, I know. Dude, you know what? Remember, however early you think it is, it's earlier here.
That is true. That is absolutely true. And guess what? There's a garbage truck right in front of me. Okay, let me show you.
No, I believe you. You don't need to show me the bag.
There you go. Look at the garbage. There goes the...
All right, got him. How are you doing? I don't really need to talk to the garbage man now. She's frozen. Oh, I thought you were frozen for a second. Brian, can you help me out? This guy.
Brian's here.
Brian!
This guy's showing me a trash truck. Like I don't.
He's blocking traffic, so I can't do anything about it.
You missed that about New York?
You were Long Island, though, weren't you?
Yes.
Yeah,
you didn't really get it like this.
No.
Nah.
We didn't have
a little different.
Yeah, a little more suburban.
I
don't know. I have no idea. It's all just New York to me.
So did anybody went to see fireworks yesterday?
By choice? No.
By choice.
I stepped out of my backyard and they were going off all around me.
Oh yeah.
Not legal.
So
now you get,
so
you got constantly keeping your eye out for stray stuff, because I have giant canopies that are stretched out the cup provide shade over the backyard. So when I entertain and stuff, everybody's shaded, but you still have open walkways. But those things can catch, stray sparks potentially. So
of course.
I have to be cognizant of that so I can be aware of it. Anyways, it's annoying.
Yeah, we go to a place every year to see fireworks displays. It's a nice little spot. They have like a fireman's carnival where the local town firemen pull up a carnival. There's a little mini amusement park and stuff like that. And they decided to close a major part of the area that that most people sit in. Like there's a playground, but that's where you sit in to see the fireworks. You get a fantastic view. So they shut it all down, and now all the fireworks that you could see are being blockaded by trees from the neighborhood. So it's actually it was not a great firework experience as far as going to see the fireworks, because you got to see some of it, but there was trees that were blocking your viewpoint, which stunk up the place. But that was it. That was my fireworks story. I'm done.
Riveting content. Back to you, Brian.
Yeah. Either that or you get the garbage truck again.
No, that's right.
My dogs. We have to medicate our dogs. Our one dog does not like fireworks, so we're usually home the evening of the 3rd, 4th.
Is it that loud where you're at that just in the house with watching TV or something? It's not enough to.
I mean, we had a pretty good amount around us in the neighborhood, so but we give him some medication and it calms him. It takes the edge off for him. So
mine doesn't pay attention to jack and shit.
Yeah,
mine lays there. I mean, fortunately, even though there's a fair amount going off around us, and we're in suburbia. We do live near enough by the airport that there's airport abatement that was done to the homes. So there's some double pane windows and stuff like that to help cut out some of the outside noise. But even like when we went outside, so she could use the bathroom, the fireworks going off, all she did was like when one would go off, so she'd turn her head. Okay, whatever. She's pretty low key about it, so I'm happy with that. But I know that some people find they can sometimes just TV or music or something's all they need. Dope. Yeah. How you doing? What's up, everybody? And look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Boo-hoo! Izzy couldn't see the fireworks.
Sorry, I saw some of it.
Why are you apologizing? Why are you apologizing? Don't apologize.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to be nice to CJ. No one's nice to him, right?
Apologize. He came in. He didn't even say hello.
That is true.
Don't apologize.
No hellos for CJ.
Yeah, no hellos.
I heard it was his birthday, though. So happy birthday, CJ.
Happy birthday, CJ.
There we go. So double pane windows aren't standard over there. They probably are more now, but my house was built pre-1970. So double pane windows weren't standard back then. That was an upgrade that actually the airport paid for. So no hellos. Yes.
It's hard having your birthday at random times during the year.
You know what's crazy? He admits it's his birthday.
Nobody has more. Nobody has no more.
I mean, based on the amount of birthdays that CJ's had, he should be like 171 by now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? He probably never pays for a burger at Red Robin.
There you go. Yum.
There you go. We're talking about whatever comes up. That's how it works there, Beckerman.
Yeah.
Fireworks. So anyway, yeah.
I did catch the new Beverly Hills Cop movie, and I'm amazed that movie's not in theaters.
It's not?
It's good?
Nope.
It's out?
It's good. It's out. It is actually really good.
What platform is it
or
on?
Amazon?
It's on Netflix.
Netflix, okay.
I'll have to check it out.
No, it's definitely worth a check. It reminiscens of the older movies without pushing it too far. Like, you got to get the same tropes, of course, but there's things about it that's really good. Like the new guy, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, he's pretty good in the movie. The girl who plays his daughter, she's a bit like, and DVH said it best. She's a bit wooden in her, but she has her moments and stuff like that. Kevin Bacon is Kevin Bacon, which is always great, and it's Axel Foley. It's not the best movie, but it's definitely no Beverly Hills Cop 3.
No, because I worked on Beverly Hills Cop 3, so there you are.
Is that true? You were in the carnival?
I was not anywhere on screen. You could not see me at all. I was strictly a behind the scenes guy. That was a movie that was shot at the amusement park that's around the corner from us, next door to the 49ers stadium. And I was operating some of the equipment at the time.
See, that's why the movie failed. They decided not to have you in it.
Yeah, it could have been.
Yeah.
Actually, my one funny story of that whole thing really was, if you remember, one of the elements of that particular movie was there was the sky gondola, the little cars on a cable that go across the sky. There was a shootout between the ground and them down below. And I was operating that vehicle or that ride, but beforehand, how we move those cabins around in the barn, because they're all individual cabins that go out one at a time on these cables. We just go to the back and we push a bunch of them all at once on these tracks, and we're pushing around, and all of a sudden the production guy comes running out yelling at us to stop what we're doing and asking us if we're insane or something. And we're like, oh, what? This is what we freaking do. And they're all, no, those things are wired with explosives, because they had to run all the explosive squibs on them for the bullets to go off. And we're just banging these things together. They're wired with explosives, and they're all, stop that. You're going to set something off. It's like, oh, there you go. Yeah, you would think that I ran the barbecue stand, but actually, if you think about how old that movie is, even at my advanced age, I was a young pup back then. It was before I was into barbecue, at least cooking it.
A young pup. How old is a young pup for you, Rob?
82.
This would have been. I wasn't married yet.
Young pup is before marriage, huh?
Yeah, I think when that movie came out, that might have been
late 90s, something like that.
Yeah,
94.
94. There you go. So I was like, I may not have even been 21 during the production. Actually, I was probably 20 during the production for that. So, but yeah, it was interesting going to catering. We got to go eat off catering. I had worked during the day, a double shift, and then we were filming at night. So I was actually going on to a triple shift to work that movie. And we went to get good catering, and it's like, oh yeah, you're having like lamb and crab. It was like off the catering truck. Okay, well, what do you want? I don't know. Can I have a little bit of lamb and a little bit of crab? They're all, yeah, you can have both. You can get like a freaking rack of lamb and a freaking king crab, half a king crab, which is like monstrous. And it's like, you got all these guys, all these people these kids that work at amusement parks and whatnot, who like make almost no money, trying to eat as much as we could. We still couldn't eat it. Not wanting to waste any of it. And these actors are just like tossing the shit away and stuff. It's like, man, it's crazy. Anyways.
So DVH was 14, and he saw that. Wow. Now I feel a lot older, because I remember going. It was one of the earlier movies that I actually went to the theaters by myself to watch. Beverly Hills Cop 3. I remember going to. It was like, so. It was a rated R movie, if I remember. I can't remember if it was. The other ones are, but this one was very weird because it didn't have that same. It was just a bad movie. It was bad sensibility. The villain was terrible.
So Izzy was young too. Then fair enough.
Yeah,
You were 14. How old are you? How old are you?
I had to be like 18 or 19 when that movie came out.
Okay.
94. No, 94. I was 18. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How did I become the
That
youngest
was
son?
wait a second. So 18, and you were just now going to see a movie by yourself for the first time?
Yeah, no, I was able to. I didn't go to the movies that time. Because I grew up in a very ultra conservative household where going to the movies was not a thing we could do. And then afterwards we were like, okay, you could go to movies, pretty much. But it was one of those movies that I actually went by myself with a couple of friends. Like I said, it wasn't like my parents took me to the movies. My parents didn't take me pretty much anywhere because they didn't drive. So
All right.
that kind of stuff.
We got what is this, Brian? Why do you look whiter than you did when you were still in New York?
I have a lot of natural light coming in now.
Somehow, Brian.
Rad Art Comics. The first movie he saw was in the theater was Jurassic Park. So there you go. Adam, what was the first movie you remember seeing in the theater? I guess we'll do first.
Okay.
Just movie you remember seeing in the theater, period.
Okay.
And then we can go to first movie you saw without your parents in the theater.
Okay. The first movie I can remember seeing was Crocodile Dundee. And I remember seeing it with my family because we happened to be in the first row of the theater because it was so packed.
Back in the day when we couldn't reserve seats.
All we could do was just sit there with our heads back like this, and Crocodile Dundee was so big. It just was like imprinted in my brain then,
That knife must have been really freaking big.
That was a knife, yeah.
That was a knife, yeah.
That's what I saw.
Those were the days.
And do you remember the first movie you saw by yourself without your parents?
I can't.
Just some friends?
No, I can't really think of what it was. I remember going to movies with friends, but I can't remember a specific one that. I do remember seeing Jurassic Park though for the first time in the theater, but I was not in my right state of mind for sure.
Got it. Brian, how about you, sir?
I'm trying to think. First movie, probably it was at a drive-in. Might have been Planet of the Apes. One of the Planet of the Apes. I don't remember. So early 70s, sometimes in. And then first movie by myself was probably Superman.
That's a great movie to go see.
Went for my birthday.
The 1978 Superman?
Yeah, 78 Superman. Went for my 8th birthday.
Wow. So you were born in the 70s?
I was.
Based on that?
Barely.
Yeah, the first movie I actually went by myself. No one was with me. It's a movie not worth talking about. Lord of Illusions.
I remember that.
You remember that movie? Scott Bakula.
Yeah, Scott Bakula. I was just going to say, wasn't he in that?
I don't remember a damn thing of that movie. I don't even remember Scott Bakula in the movie.
Yeah, no, that's rare. I know that for me, I know the first movie that I remember seeing in the theater was Star Wars. I remember seeing
too. Yeah.
I remember seeing that at the drive-in theater with a metal box hanging on the side mirror. Now, it probably wasn't. There was probably like Pete's Dragon and some other Disney movies I probably saw before that at the theater. But the first one I remember is Star Wars. Of course, it could also be my own personal preference. For a movie by myself, I'm with Madam on this one. I remember seeing some movies by myself, but when I just looked at like the one that I remember in my head that stood out, I realized that was far later than any of them. I know I'd been going on dates with girls to the theaters long before that, so obviously I was not necessarily paying attention to the movie. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah. Can anybody tell me what the first movie, or if you have walked out on a movie it was so bad?
Oh, I've only ever walked out on one movie intentionally, because it was bad.
Yes.
And that was Loaded Weapon. National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon.
Really?
It was just so. I like parody movies and stuff, but it was so bad. I just was like, "Fuck this! I am out of here." And I had free passes too, so it's not like. So it was a little bit easier because I didn't pay to go see the movie, and I'm not wasting my time watching this. That's the one I walked out of on my own. The only other time we left a movie early was for Polar Express, and not anything to do with the movie itself. My son wanted to see it because he was super into trains at the time, still is, but But he was so young when we got in there and the movie started up. It was too loud for him. He didn't want to be in there because of the noise. So we ended up leaving. Went back to the ticket counter. Unfortunately, because the movie had just literally been only on for 2 minutes, they were nice enough to refund us our money. Because I'm standing there with the 6-year-old who's just like, no, I'm not. I can't do this.
Oh, wow.
So
the sound is so loud in the theaters. It makes me wonder if it's hurting my eardrums for sure.
Can be.
There are some theaters that they offer, sound, to lower the sound or earplugs or something like that. There are theaters that do that.
Did you walk on a movie before, Izzy?
I never walked out, but there was one movie that I told my wife I want to walk out, but I was with family, so they were watching it. But I just, like, within the first 15 minutes of the movie, I was like, I'm done. And that was the first G.I. Joe movie. That movie's awful.
Not G.I. Jane?
Yeah, and G.I. Jane, no, I didn't see that one. But G.I. Joe, that first one, and then I can't believe I went to see the second one, and I felt kind of the same way.
Well, it's your own fault then.
Yeah. Well, you figure they were going a different direction with the second one. It wasn't a good direction, but yeah, those movies are bad.
I walked out of a movie called Spike of Bensonhurst.
Never heard of it, so I think
and that's why. I think it was.
Are you sure that was a standard movie theater?
It was. It came out in 1988. I think we couldn't get tickets. We wanted to go see something else, and we got sold out. And so that was like the only other. I was with a group of friends, and that was like the only other option. So we went, and we were like, a half hour in, we were like, let's get out of here. This is crap.
Brian, that's not how you do it. See, I did that for T2. I remember the lines were queued up super long to try to get into see T2 in the theater. They were all sold out, so we weren't able to get in. So we went and bought tickets to the Rocketeer that was playing at that time. And then we went in to go with our Rocketeer tickets, and then just went into the T2 place and then just sat down in seats.
Well, the big
because there was no assigned seats back then.
Yeah, well, but the big multiplex that we went to, they would queue you in line, and they had like staggered start times. So if you tried to sneak in when it was crowded like that, you usually couldn't get in and find a seat.
What happened was because they would have these different queues for that. It was only a 3-theater plex at the time because they were really
this was
large
like a
theaters.
12.
Yeah, this one was three different domes, really big theaters, and then next in the parking lot they would have another couple domes and stuff that were separate buildings. So it was really weird. So all together in this parking lot there was probably 7 or 8 theaters, but they were in different buildings. But this one, what happened was the way the line was going, we just went to go use the bathroom, and as we went in, the line was, you had to kind of go through the line to get to it because it was cut through it. We just got carried away by the crowd.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. There you go. Somebody didn't have a seat to watch T2 because of me. And my friends.
Terrible, man. Ruined someone's life.
But on the upside, I got to see T2. And they didn't.
So I was just looking it up. Superman 78 was released in December of 78. So I saw it for my 9th birthday. My birthday's in January. So I went with a couple friends for my birthday to see Superman.
Well, Brian, I learned something new. I didn't realize that you were actually older than I was.
I know. I thought we were close in age, but yeah,
we are close in age. But yeah, there you go.
Wow,
that's right. I'm a freaking seat stealer. What are you gonna do about it?
So you both are like in your 70s.
You're gonna wave your hands at 70s? Yeah. No. We were born in the 70s. We're not in our 70s. Thank you very much. Brian, let's go to the Denny's. Use our AARP discount.
Yeah, exactly.
And talk about these young whippersnappers.
So are we saying that this group here was born in the 70s? Because I was also born in the 70s.
Me too.
Yeah, you're 76.
Yes, I am.
You're like my brother. I don't need that age around me.
They're moving. They're moving. Well, they're.
He went upstairs to deliver packages.
Yeah, I know, but they're moving. There's. Yeah, I know.
We got your back, Izzy.
She's trying to get out of the street because the garbage truck is blocking. So she wants everybody to back up, but they're moving.
It seems like it's just a big game of Tetris in New York, doesn't it? Like every day, it's just a game of Tetris with your cars.
Sometimes it's like a game of Frogger too.
No, it's a game. It's actually literally that game with the cars. They're all jammed up in there, and you got to move the cars.
Oh yeah, when the parking lot, they're all in the parking lot game. Yeah, I did that yesterday too. Well, yesterday was fun because yesterday when we got out of the park, they were letting all the people leave while all the cars were just there waiting. So we had to wait like maybe a good 45 minutes before they could actually let us move.
Cool story. Brian, back to you. You started to say something when you were triggered when I said ARP discounted Denny's.
Somebody recently, it was so we have a homeowners association within our neighborhood, and I went to one of the meetings. I was talking to one of the neighbors, and he's retired, and he was telling me about I guess there's a certain gym that if you're 62 or older that you get free membership or whatever it is. But he's like, oh, so you should look into that. I'm like, I'm not that old.
I like he throws in the crackly voice in there like he's going through puberty still. Like, I'm not that old.
Like, I'm not that old. It's like, yeah, do 2 push-ups.
Yeah, so.
No. CJ, how old are you? Since you say you're so younger than all of us.
He's younger than us. He's like 78 or something like that.
We're not boomers.
No, we're not boomers.
CJ. So he's still in the 70s.
We're Gen Xers.
Gen Xers, right?
We're Xers, yes. And I just heard, what's the new? So after Gen Z, what's the Gen?
Oh, the current.
Alpha,
some people, Gen Alpha. Because you got to get the Z going back around. Alpha.
Yeah. Really? They get Alpha and we get Generation X?
There's nothing Alpha about that generation.
So these names are...
Why can't we be like the Omni generation or something cool?
For the most part, because Gen X has been Gen X and stayed Gen X. So then initially the millennials were being referred to as Gen Y until they got the millennials tag and it stopped. And then it was Gen Z until they got whatever tag they currently have. I forget what we're calling this newest batch of kids, and then so they go to Gen. They're just recycling the alphabet, but
they shouldn't be alphas though.
It is interesting. So to talk about the alphas are like these wild kids again.
Yeah, they're no alphas.
But anyways, it just goes around. It says, let's see, get that discount while you can. That's right. You know what? And it is true. Like when I got the invitation initially for AARP, I thought to myself, my God, I was fucking devastated. And then I was like, somewhat interested when I saw the collapsible trunk organizer, and that's when I knew that maybe it was right for me. And then when I got the 15% discount at Denny's, given that my membership in the Sons of the American Revolution, we meet at a Denny's.
There you go.
8 times a month. And I can do the math, and I'm going, well, shit, that's going to pay for itself, especially since I prepaid for 5-year membership. AARP, it was only $10 a year for the membership for the 5 years. So it's like $60. Here you go, boom, or $50, whatever. I don't know what it was. $50. So it was a no-brainer. I'm like, oh, it fucking pays for itself. No time flat. Gen X is awesome. We're very, if anything, I like to think that we are, but if anything, we might be our own worst enemy at times. I think our attitude of I don't give a shit. We've been through it. We've seen it all, and whatever attitude.
I think it's interesting. We're going to be the last generation, though, Rob. We're going to be the last generation.
There's no last generation.
We're going to be the last generation to know what it's like to be born without smartphones and
without technology and stuff. Sure, but one thing that I think our the stereotypical attitude of Gen Xers, I think, is actually hurting us right now. Where we need some younger but still wise folks in politics. I'm not going to get deep into political spectrums, Just simply
Please
say
don't.
I'm not going to. But
Okay.
what I am saying, I think that there's a lot of people in leadership today that should be considering retirement and stepping down. And then the problem is there's some very young ones that have some interesting ideas, but are not, the gap in the middle is missing.
There
Gen
needs to be
X never stepped up to say, let me lead this country. We sat there and said, meh, whatever.
there
We've
needs
been
to
doing
be
it
an age
ourselves. Let's
cap,
just keep doing it ourselves.
an age cap for leaders in the country. Like
No, I
once
don't want to
you're
get in. I'm
after
not going to
this
get into
Wasn't
many
Gen
years,
X
that.
the rebellion?
You do that. Next thing you're going to be doing Soylent Green and Cullings and all kinds of other stuff. So,
yeah. But wasn't Gen X the generation of rebellion in comparison to all the previous generations?
No,
Like the baby boomers
we're the latchkey generation that was left on our own to do whatever to fend for themselves, and as a result, we got a hardened attitude of we worry about me because that's all that really matters. And yeah, but anyways,
we also built a tough exterior too as a result of that.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, there are some of the old. There is a group. There is this kind of in between. For a while, there was this kind of talk about it, trying to expand the generation. There is some of the older millennials. It is true, and some of the younger Gen X that are really kind of almost meet their own. Some of their experiences. Not necessarily, and this is the problem. If you want to talk about generational, you try to fix these dates. There are certain things that sometimes have to do with your types of experiences. There actually are quite a bit of different experiences for somebody who was born in 1968, somebody who was born in 1978. What their youth, those first 10 years for them were like, is actually significantly different. For those of us that were born at the late 60s, early 70s, we're still in the world of in our preteen years. We're still in the world of rabbit ears and VHF and UHF and no computer games and all this other stuff.
And you are the remote for the TV.
Yeah, we were.
You are the remote.
That's why mom and dad had us, right? Was somebody to change the channels.
I need a kid. I need a kid to change the channel for me.
Yeah. So versus you're born in 1978. By the time you're 4 years old, you're in the 80s already, and video game consoles start coming in there. Some people, depending upon not everybody, obviously, but depending upon your social standing, you might start to get computers start showing up in the home in your youth and some of these other things. But
yeah, we had a computer, but I was not allowed to play video games because my parents thought like it was going to be awful. So I only got to play video games when I went over to visit my friends, and then I would really suck at it, and I wouldn't want to play it because I didn't know, I didn't have the practice.
We had an Atari pretty early on for playing video games, and my friend across the street had a ColecoVision.
Okay.
ColecoVision was awesome.
Yeah, right. And then we eventually had a computer in the house pretty early on, but that's because my mom needed it for her work. But we would be able to use it. I grew up with Apple products in the house growing up. We had Apple II and all that stuff. I remember. But it's funny because I remember I grew up with all that stuff. So the point where we had when Macintosh the first Macs came out, we ended up with those in the house later on. And so when I talk to people today, and the people at work, do you want a new laptop? When you go get a new laptop, do you want Mac or a PC? And I'm going, give me a PC. And they're all, you don't like Mac or whatever. And it's like, dude, I haven't used a Mac since 1991. And they look at you and go like, there were Macs in 1991. And you're like, yeah. But I mean, I grew up on Apple products, and in 91, I was getting ready to go to college, and I had to switch to PC because I was an engineering student. Back then, it was a very clear divide. You were an Apple person if you were a creative doing desktop publishing or other creative things. But if you were doing business work or engineering work, you didn't use a Mac or a PC or an Apple product for that. That was the world of PC. It was a very clear divide back then.
My first computer was a Gateway. You remember the Gateway boxes? Mm-hmm. The big cow imprint?
Yep.
Yeah, that was my first computer. I was so happy The speed on that computer was amazing. 56K modem. That was awesome. Had to connect the phone line. I was like, get off the phone. I was like, I need to play Minesweeper.
Remember the phone? My phone would be attached to a cord that would be like at least 10 feet long.
Yeah,
and then you could take that phone into like anywhere in the house practically because the cord was so long, and then shut the door and then talk to your friends.
I like Sledge's comment. Yeah, it's like the difference was like instead of having a color TV, you still have a black and white TV or something. Or I mean, I grew up. We had multiple TVs. Dad did pretty well. He was a police officer, and so we and my parents had used to work in a department store before they got married. They each worked and they met working at the department store. So they had some various things from their own. So they each came into the marriage with a black and white TV. So later on, they bought a color TV. So we had 3 TVs in our house, which was insane back then. We had one color TV, that was in the main room. And then there was a black and white little small 13-inch TV in the kitchen. So Dad, when he came home from a shift because he was working graveyards on the police force or whatever, he could watch the news or something before he goes out to actually it was in the morning our evening when he would wake up to get ready to go to work. He could watch the news before he went out on shift or something. And eventually the other one will go there. Yeah, definitely the big wooden cabinets. Yep, those were great. Yep.
A Zenith. I had a Zenith.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Zenith. Yeah, Zenith. Yeah. All right, there you go.
Those TVs was awesome, man.
I remember going to Radio Shack for stuff.
All right, so we would be remiss. We'll just bring it up for 10 seconds here because Mark is still not here, but we need to talk about it. So when he comes on, we can say we talked about it. The Star Wars had another episode this week. Obviously, was not filled with lightsaber fighting, so we know Mark didn't like it. Anyone else have strong feelings about this, or shall we move on?
No feelings about it at all because I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
There you go. Madam has no feelings. Brian?
Overall, the series has been it's been okay. I don't think it's as bad as Mark portrays it. That's all.
I think I've even read a couple articles that are kind of the same thing. It's like I think it's suffering from the episode treatment. It's definitely pacing of the episodes is poor, and some of the way that their timing and stuff that they're doing, but that overall for what it's supposed to be of a mystery type of show, I think that some people try to put it in different pigeonholes, whatnot. But again, who knows? We'll see.
But going back to our generation and this generation in regards to this whole Star Wars thing, is it the situation of we were used to that kind of television where there is a pacing. It takes time to get to where you.
Oh no, there's a difference between taking time to get to something versus in this time. It is like the episode will. It's just the way that some of the episodes go, where they just kind of end, kind of like dull, and there's no. Even though you may have some. God, also sorry. Having problems breathing, all of a sudden a little congestion hitting me. Talk amongst yourself. I'm verklempt.
Okay, Rob. I hope you're feeling better.
So what I was referring to is that for us, the minimum amount of episodes was 13, but most of the time it was at 23 episodes a season. So there were long episodes. It took a long time to finally get to the point because there was fillers and things like that. Where now shows are expected to be 6 to 10 episodes, and everybody wants everything to move at a more rapid pace. I've been watching. I think I've gone to 3 episodes. I'm fine with it. I don't love it, but I don't hate it.
Exactly. I'm kind of ambivalent towards it, but I mean, I'm watching the story. I think there have been things I've said. These 8. So there's a lot of the older shows really they were individual episodes that had their own individual stories, and maybe there was a common thread that was teased throughout these things. Eventually, that would come together at the end of a season. that's not what we have. Instead, we have just everything is just one story. So it's really just a movie that's broken up, but it's not paced or filmed as such. Instead, there's extra shit that's put in there at times. It just is like, seems like it's filler, you know. So there's definitely, I mean, I think there's room to definitely be critical of it. I don't think that it's pure utter drivel and deserves the 15% score, but you know, that's my opinion. Obviously, people have their own, but at the end of the day, you know, it's you know, if you don't like it, then why do people keep watching it? That's the funny thing. Is it's when you look at its numbers, they're saying that this is like one of their most successful as far as number of eyeballs watching the show.
It's called Hate Watch.
Don't you remember Howard
people watching
Stern?
it so that they can hate on it?
Everyone hated Howard Stern, but he would get immense numbers of people watching him just because they hated him so much they wanted to see what they were going to hate he said next.
Yeah. So, anyways, there we go. We talked about it.
Yeah.
I mean, now I guess according to his background, he wants to talk about the Hellboy thing, which I know he's irritated by the horns, I guess, and the makeup on it.
That looks so bad. That really looks bad.
I haven't seen anything about it other than I saw
the trailer.
Is it a feature? Is it an actual like studio film, or is it?
It's a studio film, but I don't think it's a traditional going to the movie theaters film. So it's not it's probably a direct to video type of thing. Okay. It's a low budget Hellboy film
with a potential of making it into some sort of ongoing series of films.
Yeah, so it's just that the actor looks like this. He looks like Daniel Craig as Hellboy.
It's a TV show. Is it?
Yeah, I wasn't even clear on what it, you know.
Like it just came out of nowhere. It just showed up.
Hellboy has not been one of my things ever, so I mean, I don't.
Yeah, I'm not a big Hellboy fan either. So yeah.
I think what it is that we got the last good Hellboy movie was the Guillermo del Toro movie, which was Hellboy 2, and then from there it just went. Ooh. Yeah, I agree with DVH. I agree with that. It don't look good.
It doesn't.
Yeah, it definitely has a low budget feel.
But DVH said it's a film, so I don't know what it is because one person has a TV show, one person has a film.
Yeah.
But although I know that,
I think DVH knows.
Maybe the confusion is if it is a direct, if it's one of these streaming things. Sometimes people think it's a TV show, but it's really a movie.
No, it says movie film.
Okay, there you go, Brian. There you go. Oh, yeah, he said it. Sorry, he thought it said show. Fair enough. What network is going to have that?
It can be a show if they break it up into four parts.
I say network. What streaming service is going to own that?
Schiller. I don't know.
Is that a Prime or a?
You know what? I didn't say. When I saw the trailer, it just looked like a regular movie trailer. So it looks like it's almost to the point that it looks like it's an unfinished piece, and they're trying to shop it around. That's what it looks like. So I don't think it has a home based on what I've seen. It just says it's coming out. It just doesn't say where.
Yeah, and doesn't even have a release date. It just says sometime in 2024.
Yeah.
Well, there you are then.
Maybe in hell you get to see Hellboy.
I mean, when I first saw some of the trailer, I thought it was like maybe even a fan film. Like it looked that low budget. Like it was, yeah.
Like even he just doesn't look. He doesn't feel like Hellboy.
Yeah, it definitely has a look.
Yeah, you want to call it that? The director of Crank did it, so interesting.
What is this?
Hey, CJ.
Hi, CJ. No hellos, but a whole bunch of goodbyes.
Lots of goodbyes. Ryan, what do you miss about New York?
Nothing.
Wow.
Air quality.
I mean, you know, some family and friends, but other than that, there's really.
What part of Long Island were you in again?
I was in Suffolk County.
Okay, that's the county though. That's the whole county. But what part?
I was in Ronkonkoma.
Oh, okay. So you were up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty suburbia. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm gluten free, so I don't eat bagels and pizza and that kind of stuff anymore. But that's the biggest thing my family misses is pizza and bagels.
Yeah,
that does kind of look like Daniel Craig right there.
Yeah, it's like he's looking up and saying to himself, "Where did my career go that I have these horns cut off in my head?"
He's saying, "Where is my walk out of the ocean slowly scene?"
What has happened to my life that they painted me in red?
Is The Acolyte a good show? I'm not sure.
Oh man, this must be a Disney Plus series.
Where is Mark? That's what I want to know.
Where is Mark? What's Mark
The
doing?
director. Where are you know what? But that's accurate to Hellboy. The shoulders line. That Sledge is saying. If you ever watch the way he draws, Mike Mignola draws Hellboy, he always draws him like his shoulders down. So that's accurate, actually. So it's from the director of the Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance. Ooh, that movie was something. Oh, maybe we'll get to see Hellboy piss fire.
You know, I like that movie Legend. I think they should try to redo Legend with Tom Cruise and Tim Curry, and they should redo that and make.
Here we are. Yes, indeed. There's the sloped shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And the last one backfired. It wasn't David Harbour's fault that the last one backfired. It was just a bad movie. Because David Harbour looked great.
See, the one with the long hair, huh? I don't know.
Oh no, I prefer Perlman's Hellboy too. But he's the first. He's the, Perlman to Hellboy is Christopher Reeve to Superman. Perfection.
Who's the best James Bond?
What's his name? Sean Connery.
So Izzy says first person gets it. Everybody else has to be sucks.
No, not all the time.
Who do you think is the best Bond, Brian?
Well, I grew up on Roger Moore, but Connery's definitely good, and I like Daniel Craig's. Daniel Craig did a really good job.
It's like the argument.
You know, it's really odd because there's different. The movies are different in how they are. I mean, obviously, today's movies, Daniel Craig's stuff, a lot more action oriented.
Oh, sure.
Very, if you stand it up against a Roger Moore film, completely different. Especially as Roger Moore was older when he took on the role, even compared to, say, some of the others. But like Brian, I grew up with Roger Moore. It's almost like who was your Bond was like, and who was your doctor? And so for longest time, I kind of had an affinity towards Moore. But going back and watching stuff, I do agree that I think Sean Connery's was probably the way he played the character was a little bit cooler. But as far as the idea that here's this suave, debonair guy who just every lady fell for type thing, I think Roger Moore was more believable to me in that position. But then later on, even some of the others, each of them had their own different things as you went on. Even, whether it be Timothy Dalton or, whatever else. But I think, again, it has to do with the times. I mean, they're just so different. It's hard to say one's better than the other. They're just different.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I think Sean Connery definitely had like the biggest air of sophistication around him as Bond. I feel like he would like it was just emoting sophistication all the time. But I think Daniel Craig, for the modern day Bond or whatever that we have now, he's just,
yeah, I feel it's hard to compare Craig to the older guys because the movies are so fundamentally different from an action standpoint.
Yeah.
Although he has defined it so well that let me ask you this: who was James Bond before Daniel Craig?
Bronze Pearson.
Was it?
Yeah.
Do you remember
what did it go from him?
Do you remember Pierce Brosnan? Wasn't Pierce Brosnan?
Pierce Brosnan.
Pierce Bronson. I said Bronze Pearson. Back when.
But I heard, like, didn't Pierce Brosnan go on vacation one time after he was James Bond? They got a couple pictures of him, and they're like, "Oh, he's letting himself go," and so then he was off of Bond.
Yeah, I will say that I do remember now that you mention it. I remember in Pierce Brosnan. I thought he actually was a really good.
Yeah, he was.
He was when he was hired. There was no denying. Okay, this is Bond. He was one of those guys when he was. I remember when he was hired. It was like, oh yeah, definitely. It was almost GoldenEye. Yeah, just to Norton's point.
But, the thing about like Daniel Craig is almost like a different body type too. He was kind of more, a beefcake type Bond, where the other guys were more kind of slim in stature. They weren't big guys. They were kind of just a different.
They were more about the gadgets than they were about and of course the debonair look to it. Where Daniel Craig was the action star. He was
just like pure brute force, though, too. Daniel Craig was more physical, than all the other Bonds. It looked like.
Yeah, he didn't think that some of the previous ones were going to slug it out.
Right, or climb up on top of a construction site and have an awesome scene.
Like what? Mess up my suit? I can't mess up my suit.
Climbing up the side, some of the stuff they're doing in dress shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, there may be multiple James Bond, but there's only one Get Smart.
There you go. What would
That's
you believe?
I'm talking about.
Missed me by that much.
Let's go.
You need to invoke the cone of silence.
99?
I used to watch those as a kid all the time.
Yeah,
that was like a perfect. You're homesick from school and you could watch Get Smart all day.
I just love the opening credits where he just kept walking to different rooms.
Was there a phone in his shoe? Or
yes.
am I
Yep, his shoe was a phone. Yeah. With an antenna.
Good stuff.
He actually called the antenna like those are good times.
DVA says there's actually 2 Get Smarts.
Yes, there's a movie too. Wasn't Steve Carell?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there were movies.
Along with The Rock and.
That's right. The Rock was in one of them. I forgot about that.
Jaws was the best Bond villain. I heard that Jaws was out swimming in the ocean and like attacked 4 people.
Different Jaws.
Yeah.
But they were
same time period though.
Of these sharks, like within like 15 feet of the shoreline, like attacking people. Like this is. Did anyone else see that on the news today?
I think there's been a lot of that this summer, right?
It doesn't happen on the West Coast. Fucking ocean's too cold.
That's because they're just waiting for it to fall into the sea, into the ocean there, and then
the ocean is about 20 degrees cooler over here in the West Coast, so we don't get as many up rare occurrence. Most of the sharks we have around here are like little dogfish sharks and stuff that at most might nibble on your toe and leave a mark. And that's about it. Like getting bit by a big catfish.
If he bit you though, could you like legitimately say like, "Hey, I've gotten bitten by a shark"?
Sure, but everyone's gonna go, yeah, well, show me. You're going, no, it's already healed. Sorry,
it's too traumatic. I can't show you.
They're not.
Your eyes won't be the same.
I can't show you where they bit me, but you know.
Yeah, I mean most of the stuff, like all the stuff they would tell, like most of the stuff about sharks are talked about out here are like way overblown, and we're like come out of like stories that prison guards would tell people at the Alcatraz to make them not want to swim in the water to try to escape. When in reality there was, there were sharks there, but there wasn't a shark that was going to attack a person.
I think the Alcatraz waters look so choppy and torrential that they would be hard to swim out of there.
Well, it is. Swimming in the bay, especially depending upon the tidal patterns, is not, and where you're at. I mean, yet the Alcatraz is more near the opening, so there's a lot more tidal flow going on versus, say, down South Bay or something where it's minimal type of thing. So it's all about where. It wasn't an easy swim or anything else, but it was just one of the things. Like they would make them all take hot showers, and they didn't take cold showers because you didn't want them acclimatizing to the cold waters of the bay, and tell them that there were sharks in there. Nobody wanted to swim in it.
Alcatraz is just like
oh my god.
Place, right?
I'm so sorry for you, Brian. I know it is hotter than hell out there in Central. Central California right now is almost like Arizona as far as
113.
Really?
Yeah, legit. It is hot.
I went.
That's saying a lot based on what you said on Wednesday, Rob. As far as hot goes, that must be hot.
When you go over triple digits, I say it's hot.
Oh, but that's got to be like west, right? That's got to be near.
Yeah.
He's in Central Valley, California. Yeah.
Rad Art Comics. I was just thinking about this question too. Do you think the original Alcatraz breakout prisoners made it, or do you think they were swallowed up in the ocean? The ones who like painted their.
I know who are. They made a raft out of raincoats and everything else. I got to think, to be honest. At this point, the fact that they never turned up or anything, I doubt that they
wasn't that the point?
Yeah, but people escape from prison and all of a sudden turn their lives around and become model citizens and disappear and stay off the grid. The rest of their lives. That's unlikely, I think, and so I'm going to say they probably didn't make it.
No,
but. Who knows? Yeah, it's be about 112 to 114 today where he's at. And what's really bad is in Northern California, above me, is where it's, again, the temperature's getting up there like that. But because of the fire dangers and stuff, the power department, PG&E, the power provider, is shutting down the power to folks, because they're afraid that that wind would cause things to fall into the power lines and start fires. So these people who are up there is like they're this intense heat and they can't use their air conditioning or anything because the power is being shut off.
Oh, jeez. That's not good.
Yeah. It's going to be 112 years today.
98 here in South Carolina.
Today it's supposed, in my neck of the woods, it's a little bit. We're in a little bit of a slight cooling trend. Oops, I got to change this off of Celsius because I was talking to the comic vet earlier.
76 right now.
Well,
yeah, well, right now, yeah, right. Well, so right now it's 64. Right now, it's actually really nice. Right now, we get the evening cool down because of the ocean. The high today will be 95. Where I'm at.
How much humidity are you getting out there, Rob?
We are right now. I'm at a fucking goddamn East Coast fucking level, 77% humidity right now.
Oh, you just got to wade through the air.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
I'm sorry.
But that'll change in the afternoon because right now we're having an onshore breeze. So the wind is coming in from the ocean and bringing in some of that humidity. But in the afternoon, it's going to switch to an offshore breeze and it dries it out fucking super quick.
I went kayaking yesterday, but the key to going kayaking in 112 degree heat is you need to leave at like 3:30 so you can launch out at like 5, and so you can be done by 9.
Yeah.
Are you talking about in the AM?
Ooh, hey, we're a bunch of
Yes,
nerds.
this is
In case you guys
all
didn't know,
AM.
in case you didn't know, we're nerds. Yes, we
Yes.
are. Thank you.
And I almost got bit by a rattlesnake because when I went off trail investigating and exploring, I was going up in some flip-flops, because I was on the kayak and I went up in the flip-flops and all of a sudden, I was okay, I'm good.
It's nice that they at least warned you.
Rattlesnake, no socks on, just flip-flops. I'm like,
well, I'm gonna
go
the socks wouldn't have done any good for you, but 98 laying by the pool would Guinness in about 5 hours. Fair enough. Brian, if you're doing HVAC work, man, at least I guess you're busy. That's for sure. But that sucks because you're always outdoors fixing the freaking units. It's never anything indoors. It's always on a roof or on the side of a house or somebody working on some HVAC stuff. That sucks. Oh man, I'm so sorry.
Especially if it's 112, 114 for him.
Yeah, that's my problem. My problem, like I don't like. Unfortunately, the way my house was set up. The only place they were able to put the AC condenser stuff was on the south side of the house. So normally you like to try to put it on the north side so it gets some shading from the house. But instead, mine's like my condenser unit is like right in the freaking sun the whole damn time. And although they claim, I suppose, that it's only a 1 to 3% efficiency difference being shaded for cooling, but the other day it was hot enough with the sun beating on this side of the house that I had the air conditioner set to 74, and it couldn't cool the house below 78. That was like as far as it would go. That it never dropped. Get the house any colder than that. The house was just, it's older. I need to redo some insulation. It needs to be redone and some stuff like that. Well, the windows are good because they're all double pane windows.
Okay.
But the house was built again in 1968. I can see that where there's holes in the outside of the house with plugs where they did blown-in insulation. And when I've gone in and looked, when we tore down one of the bathrooms, we saw there was very little insulation in the walls. So I think that's a big problem. Is there needs the exterior walls need a lot more insulation. And then the roof probably needs to get new. Attic crawl space probably needs to get new insulation. So it's on my list of things, that deferred maintenance when I stop paying for college tuitions that I can do. But fortunately, we don't have a lot of days where I live that are in this really high heat. For the we only usually have most of our peak summer temperatures are low 90s, high 80s where I live. Getting above the mid 90s, near 100 stuff. That's pretty rare for us. Let's see. At home or if you're true. Yep. In the attic. Oh, that's worse.
Rob, I have a question.
Actually, I'm curious. Which do you think is worse? Being in an attic? Yeah, definitely being in an attic, not on a roof. On the roof, at least you might get some airflow. In the attic, in the attic, you got some shade, but it's freaking captured the heat, so it intensifies that heat and no airflow.
Doesn't a basement get hotter though?
Huh?
Wouldn't a basement get hotter?
A basement is down lower, heat rises.
No, heat rises.
I wouldn't know. I'm not a homeowner.
For your air conditioner.
What was it, madam?
Why don't you get a shade for your air conditioner?
Well, you could.
Yeah.
But you have to have a certain amount of airflow around it. So they say for above it, it needs to be at least 5 feet above it. Okay. And it's up against. It's sort of near my front gate, so that means the roof would be sticking up. The shade above it will be above the fence line.
Yeah, I saw it.
which would look really weird.
Okay.
So at least if you follow the correct amount of airflow, you should have on it. Let's see, Grand Admiral Hawk Tua.
Is that Eman?
Okay, what is that about?
You've not.
I have no idea what this is. Hawk Tua is about.
Just do a search and you'll see.
Yeah, you can see. Essentially, some college white girl was asked some stupid question, probably about sex, and she said sometimes you got to hawk to it. She basically got to spit on it. And that's all it was. She made
that's what they asked her, like it was a man on the street, like a TikTok thing, and they said, how do you keep a man happy in the bedroom or some question like that? And she's like,
yeah.
So she basically said she got to spit on it, which is, okay, fine. But, it went viral, and now she's like, I guess there's like interviews with her now talking about she's getting representation and she's like moving out to California. Like she thinks she's going to make a career out of something like this. It's like, honey, your fame is going to be over next week when the next dancing baby.
She's selling merch though.
So DVH's point, how the blue hell have you avoided that? Well, I see it, but I don't pay attention to it. Until I'm like, until I see it so many times that I'm like, what the hell is this about?
Well, I think it happened. Did it happen like right around like Heroes Con weekend? So I had no idea what was.
It's like this week is when I started seeing it.
It's been a couple weeks now.
So, Coyote, I do have some in some places, and but yeah, you can't. Unfortunately, unless I put an awning over the entire house. I'm still waiting for some of my trees to finish. I'm still waiting for some of the trees growing. See, the problem is the people who lived in this house before me cut all the trees down, pretty much. And so I put a beautiful shade tree out in front of the house, which will really help in the afternoon. But it's a slow-growing tree. So it's just now starting to get to the point where it provides some decent shade. So I'm hoping that once it comes in a little bit more. Some of these the trees are really going to help.
Brian, I know 2 girls, 1 cup. That one I know.
But do you guys know 2 guys, 1 mug? Because you can get your 2 guys, 1 mug only slaps mug. And very comics.
Very different, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. Good morning, Legions. Pops, good day to you. We're still waiting for your son. I think he's got his nappies still going on. Let's see. No, under the floor and crawl spaces are much cooler. Average overall than an attic. Typically 100 degree, maybe 125, 130 degrees in the attic. Yeah, and hopefully they have an attic fan.
Yeah, crawl spaces are great for hiding bodies. If you're John Wayne Gacy, I mean, who has crawl spaces at the?
So they're actually giving tickets now.
Our houses, because they build our houses on foundations, right? Okay. Because of earthquakes. So every house you have to step up into. It has a crawl space underneath it. I mean, it's about 20 inches or something. It's not like you can do a lot down there, but it's literally belly crawling around under there. You can route cables and stuff. Apparently, I've been told by some people who've gone down there, I am not a guy who can fit under my house. I'm a larger man, and they routed. Apparently, there's some the way some of the pipes were run underneath the house are not great. But typically, there's going to be a crawl space under every house. Typically, nothing. If you have a front step to get into your get into your threshold of your house, then you have a crawl space of some sort under your home because they're running pipes and electrical and stuff oftentimes underneath those there have nothing else.
Okay.
So unless you're built on a slab, I mean, there are houses that are built on a slab.
Like in Arizona, we don't have basements. Like we don't have basement.
Well, I'm not saying a basement. There's a difference between a basement and a crawl space.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a basement. Those are pretty rare out here on the West, but I've had one. But especially where I'm at, this part of town, no. Because we're only 7 feet above sea level, so digging a basement would not be good. But unless your house is built on a slab, you probably have a crawl space of some sort. You just probably don't want to go down there. Spiders and whatnot.
Use the video at first, please.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got. Just Google 2 girls, 1 cup. Is he? Yeah, no. Here today, gone tomorrow.
Ryan, how many nominations have come?
My
in
attic
so
is
far for the
climate
CBC
controlled.
Awards?
Yeah, if you have a full, I know people who do that, especially if you have a full blown attic, proper with where you can get up there and stand up there, and people who use it for storage, like you see in the movies and whatnot. Even where I'm at, my attic is an over glorified crawl space of its own. You go up there and basically move around in some spots on your knees, but that's about it. At least if you in some of the spots where I put down some boards, because I thought at one point I could store some things up there, but then I realized I really can't. There's the way that all the ducting for the AC, the AC was run, or well, not just the AC. It's the air vents for all the HVAC stuff. Are run up there. They just kind of did it in such a way that's in the way. It's not conducive to be able to put tote bins of stuff up there for storage, which sucks. How about you, Brian? Do you have a do you have a basement at your place now you're at, or do you have a full blown attic? Anything?
No. So we have the new house in South Carolina on a slab, so no basement. There are actually a couple houses in our neighborhood that, because we're in like a phase 3 of a development, and these were all built within houses were built within the last like year or so. But there are like 4 or 5 houses that actually have basements, which is kind of unusual. But we do have an attic, second floor, and attic with storage space and stuff up in the attic. So, but New York, we had full basement. We had 2 bedrooms and it was a full basement in New York.
Ryan, how many nominations do you have so far for your CBC?
I'm actually just looking at it because I'm going to update the nomination list this morning. 215 nominations have come in.
Sweet.
Which is pretty good. I looked.
That's pretty good because I only put in 175
for yourself.
I looked last. Well, here.
They're all your email.
I have the.
Rob Fatstacks 1, Rob Fatstacks 2, Rob Fatstacks 3.
And somehow he's not winning.
So last year we had 328 total nominations submitted, ballots submitted. So we're pretty, we're still about 5 weeks left. So we're at 215. So
and the window's smaller this year, right?
Yeah, the window's smaller. Yeah, we went from like a 12-week window to an 8-week window.
When is the cutoff again? When you can stop nominating?
It's August 10th.
Yeah, I have to submit. I have everybody else submitting, so I know some of my family members submitted yesterday, and they were like, doop, 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 doop. So, but I personally haven't done it. So,
man,
you can tell sometimes when it's family members submitting because they just put one channel across every category.
Exactly. You know exactly when it's a family member.
That's why you got to tell them the other vote for this in this category. Here you go. Here's your
list.
No. They will ask me sometimes, "What's that show you watch?" The guy with the mustache and the bald guy who's always upset that the comic books are in his box. They'll ask me questions like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think so far though we've seen there's a number of new channels that have not been nominated in the past, so that's good. That's good to see.
That is good.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm going to update. I'm in the process of updating the nomination list, so I'll
cool.
Everybody can see, who's.
What I had. Go ahead.
So I did have a question for you, Brian, in regards to one of the categories is the 100 or less subscribers. Is that becoming harder and harder to find because they're hard to find because they have less than 100 subscribers? How do we find these people?
I mean, I know I find new channels almost weekly, so I know I have a number of channels that are under 100, and it's tough because sometimes. So I'll look at that list quite frequently and go spot check them to make sure, because at 95 subs, and then in a week they're going to be over 100. So, but they're out there. There's a number of new channels too. So.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm gonna go.
All right.
My day. Thanks for hanging out with me this morning. I'm honored to be here.
Thank you for coming on. Yeah.
All right, you guys have a good one.
You can.
All right.
Izzy, you
Have a good one,
got
Stephen.
Dead Man Under 100 over in
Cool.
the UK.
Oh yeah,
Also-
Dead Man.
Yeah, Dead Man. I've seen Dead Man.
And obviously, recently we had oh, look at this. Good morning, Sleepyhead.
Good morning.
Hey.
Of course, Ben Parker Comics recently started up his channel. Some others, but
Yeah.
I think
they're out there.
Lettuce Comics, I think he's already past 100. I think, but
Yeah, he went past 100.
So when's the cutting off point? Like how long do you stay at 100?
As long as you're under 100 when you get nominated,
Mm-hmm.
at the beginning of the nomination period, that's basically the rule. So, like I said, I'll spot check that. And two, you could potentially have somebody who's under 1,000 and then go over 1,000 during the
Yeah,
period.
of course.
So, yeah, it's.
Isn't that what the goal is at the end of the day when you really want what you really want?
I'm with
Right, to
Izzy.
get
Those
people
are
up.
those are hard to find.
Yeah.
No,
I think
there's not a ton of those channels, but I mean, there are new channels. There have been a lot of new channels over the last couple months. So
I haven't been on YouTube as much, so
that's really the thing is whether you're what you're doing, if you're, but
like, and if you try to search content, the algorithm kind of just naturally gives you the people with more traction.
that's
That's the hard part.
The way I find a lot of channels is like if I'm in somebody's chat, a live stream, and I see a name pop up in the chat that I'm not familiar with, I'll see if they have a channel, or if I'm a Blue Wrench, I can just, right click and go to their channel and then, see if they're producing comic book stuff and
go through your own list of go to your subscriber list.
That's another
But
way.
you're dissecting YouTube these days because like you're working on this. Like
I'm definitely kind of
the other day.
Yeah.
What was it, like a week or two ago, Brian, when I was shooting you a couple questions to make sure I wasn't going to mess up the form or whatever? That was the first time I looked at the form. I hadn't voted yet, but I stopped immediately to ask you that question. Then I stopped immediately because I didn't have anybody to answer. I didn't want to leave them blank, so I hadn't done it yet. I still have to find some channels.
Like,
I appreciate that. I appreciate people that actually fill out the full ballot because you see a lot that are like one or two channels across all categories, and obviously not everybody fits all categories. So there's that, or and a lot of people leave stuff blank, which is good. But having a full or almost a full category filled out for a channel filled out for every category is
I know that
it's a long list.
It is.
I know when I filled out mine, I think I left a few blank, but mostly in the over 5,000 because I don't really watch that many of the really big channels or especially speculative stuff. I don't know. I don't.
That's fair. That's fair. I don't really watch a lot of spec stuff either. So that was kind of when I filled out mine. That was kind of tough to do, but because I'm seeing so many of the nominations come in, I kind of have a base of channels that I could put in there.
No, absolutely.
So we got a couple of guys that are on the chat right now. They're saying nominate them. Sledge 75, My Nerdy Collection. So we got a few people to pick from. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There you go. You know what? I'll tell you what surprised me on a slightly different note. Not to get us off of CBC awards because they're great. Which of course I saw. Now you got a corporate sponsor came in there, huh?
Yeah, I reached out. I just did some outreach to a couple, some of the suppliers, people that do supply stuff for our hobby, and we added a comic capsule. So they're donating two comic capsules for every category. So all the winners this year get comic.
That's a lot.
But yesterday it hit me as I'm, 4th of July is going on, I realized that, holy bejesus, we are only 3 months away from Comics Curing Cancer, because we moved the event to the beginning of October this year. So it is October 4th through the 6th. So we are
Send us your
literally,
stuff.
yeah, it's
Send us your stuff now.
start digging through your stuff and identifying what you have that you might be interested in, that you might be willing to donate for Comics Curing Cancer, and reach out to us. If we'll get you the address to ship it to, because
Talk to your LCS, tell them about it, see if they'd like
we
to donate.
definitely will be needing some items. Now, the one thing I will say to help us out, if you think that you have a connection with an artist, because you've had some discussions where you think, before you reach out to them on behalf of Comics Curing Cancer, please reach out to us first, because we have a list of folks we've already talked to, and the last thing that we want is to have an artist be hit by multiple people saying that they're with Comics Curing Cancer, and have this person go, I've already talked to somebody from Comics Curing Cancer. What are you talking about? And make us look like we can't be trusted, or whatever else is going on. So please just, hey, I have a connection to this guy. I'd be happy to reach out. If you haven't already reached out, we'll let you know. We'll respond back. That's my only ask when it comes to that.
Izzy, hit up Howard.
So, but anyways, it's a short turnaround time for some of this stuff. I did start reaching out to a bunch of people yesterday, a bunch of artists yesterday. I'm starting to get some feedback from some of them right now, which is great. Including one guy who last year was generous and donated a whole Comic Art Connects last year, donated a bunch of pages. They're agreed to send. He's definitely going to send us some more stuff this year. He just said, do me a favor, ping me again after San Diego Comic-Con, and then I'll get some stuff out to you. And I'm like, you got it. Put it on my calendar. Bang. So anyways, just want to throw that out there. It is coming fast. Please, by all means, take a look at your stuff. You got that slab book that's been sitting up on eBay for 4 months, it hasn't moved. Yeah, maybe you just want to donate it to us, whatever. We don't want your garbage, but hey, slab books, signed books, keys, the usual stuff, some nice stuff that you think you'd bid on, we appreciate it. And Izzy, you know what I did? I did, and some of these things I sometimes will mix things together. So like we got that piece that I haven't posted yet, but I'm going to post it probably next week. The Roscoe pencils of Dark Claw.
Oh yeah, the Dark Claw
that you did the inks on, right?
Yeah.
On a backer board. Well, I ended up getting a nice copy of Dark Claw #1. So I'm going to put the Dark Claw book with the art. Bam.
Which Dark Claw did you get? The first one or the second one?
The first one.
The first one? That's cool. I actually like the second one a lot, though.
The second one's the animated.
Yeah, it's the animated series version, which I like a lot. It's awesome.
Anyway, so there we go.
Anyways.
Yeah, but I did speak to an inker that I know, a close inker friend of mine. So you guys know him, Keith Williams, and we're gonna do a collaboration. So. I got a book.
Ravage 2099 fame.
Yep, that's right. He's gonna ink over my pencils.
Nice.
So I got to do something really nice. I already got the book. I picked up the book at a show. I showed it to him. I told him, hey, look, I'm gonna do a picture. Would you ink this for a charity event? And he was like, let's do it. So I just gotta draw the picture. I already know what it is, though. So I might do two of them.
Oh, nice.
Just so I could keep one for myself. Yeah. That'd be cool.
Trish Forstner's in again. She's going to donate some stuff. Stephanie Lavad. She already had donated one sketch cover. She's definitely going to do something. She's so into it that, like, when I send out these things, I always reference like Cancer is the super villain and everything else, right? She's like, oh, I'm happy to join this super team to your team of superheroes. And so she's writing in with the whole theme of the whole stuff. I love it. So awesome. So Mark, were you just tired and tuckered out from last night, or?
I went back to sleep on accident this morning. That's like my the worst thing I can do is when I get up early and then I go back to sleep. If I lay back down, then I just I go into a coma. But Finn had crawled into bed with me, and I'd went and laid down with him, and that's that good dope, when your kids still love you.
What is that like? I don't remember. It's been a while now.
I don't take that for granted. I was laying there with him, and next thing you know, I'm waking up at 8:30. I'm like, oh my God.
Can you remind me what that feels like?
My phone says like multiple missed alarms on it, where everyone we both just sleep through them. But
I do miss those days, man.
I don't sleep a lot overnight, and I can fall asleep at the drop of a dime because of it, kind of thing, because I sleep about 4 or 5 hours a night, and I work all day long, and then I come home and I'm just going with the kids. So when I lay down at night, I just go out, and it's like that during the day too. If I lay down at any point, I just can go right out.
Well, I've reached the point in my life that I don't care, and I'll take a nap wherever I can.
Yeah.
So
even in your car.
Well, in my car, I take naps more than anything else. So for yesterday, while we were waiting,
more than anything else in my car, but
yesterday while I was waiting for the fireworks, I was like. And then, you hear my family say, what's he doing? And my wife is like, he's sleeping. They're like, again? Like, yep.
I wish I could do that. I can't. If I get a nap in during the day, it screws me up for my night sleep. So yeah, I can't.
1, 2 o'clock, that's nap time for me. I don't care where I'm at.
I stayed up late because the holiday, and I've been on a mission, and last night the mission required me to stay up a little bit later than normal due to what was going on. I was doing the rewatch through Game of Thrones. I started a week and some change ago, and I'm finished episode 3 of season 8 last night, which is the episode titled "The Long Night," the actual battle at Winterfell with the White Walkers, which is it's a movie pretty much. It's a long episode, but I wasn't going to not watch it last night. So that was intense.
Well, yeah, based on Instagram, you had a couple fireworks to shoot off last night too.
Yeah, I've live streamed on YouTube the fireworks. It took 22 minutes and some change from them lighting it off to it ending with no breaks in it, just nonstop. Almost a 30-minute show, and they're not. You saw the thing; they're not small fireworks. It looks like a show that you would go to. If we were in California, we would have burned the whole state down. We're in a neighborhood, so we're putting those pine trees through hell. You know what I mean? Thank God for humidity.
I almost had to call Izzy yesterday. We had a great day. We went out. We did some tubing on a local river. Then went over to my in-laws, and we went swimming in the lake, barbecue, and then I'm leaving. There was a bunch of cars, a bunch of family members over, and so it was kind of a tight squeeze to get out, and I hit a rock on my wife's new car and flat tire. So, Izzy, I almost had to call you to help me walk me through changing the tire. To come sit
with you while you wait on someone to come change it?
Yeah, that's all you have to do. You just have to call someone.
I've changed plenty of tires. It was just the fact that it was a new car, and I was a little bit unfamiliar with the setup. So, but by the time I would have called somebody and they got there, I would have had it changed. So I changed it.
That's how I do it, though. 3-hour waiting period.
So it was a great day, and then it sucked. I was tired. I wanted to go home, and then I caused the flat tire.
Yeah, those are the worst, aren't they? When you get a flat, now that you mentioned it, right before we started the stream, I got on the stream. I went to the flat fix just to air up my tires because they all looked a little low. Because I've been driving a lot lately in these last couple of weeks, so I was like, they look low. Let's air them up. So, and then this weekend we're supposed to go to Sesame Place, so that should be fun.
Sesame.
Yeah.
That's for young kids.
What was that?
That's kind of for young kids.
It is, but my daughter, my daughter, she's really into the Muppets right now. Like really, really into the Muppets. So she watches the Muppet Show daily. All her clothes are, Muppet, stuff. Like she got the Mayhem T-shirt. She loves Kermit. She loves all that stuff. She loves the Sesame Street Gang. Like, I think she loves Cookie Monster and Grover. And this is a girl that's 14. She's gonna be 14 on Sunday. So why not take her to Sesame? Yeah, that's part of her birthday. So nice. Why not take her to Sesame Place? We were supposed to go last week, but it was raining. So, and she still doesn't know about it. But it's a fun little park. It's not a huge park. It has some water rides too. So that should be good.
Yeah, we took the kids there years ago when my kids were young.
Yeah, you're not gonna get some thrill rides. I'll tell you that much. The biggest thrill ride is Oscar's roller coaster, which should just be a trash compactor.
Or it could be one of those garbage trucks you were following.
Maybe, right?
You walk by.
It could be old school. Let's make it.
The ride. All it is that you throw the kids in the garbage.
No. It needs to be old school, like from our time. The kids actually have to hang on the side of the garbage truck as it goes down the bumpy street, and then periodically get off and have to walk up the driveway of somebody's place and pick up a trash can, dump it into another can, and wheel it out, throw it in the back, hook it back on the side of the can, then climb back on and.
Yeah. No, my daughter really loves the Muppets right now. Like, really loves it.
How long has this phase been going on?
3 years now.
So this is it. You're going to take her to Muppet Place, and then it's all going to be downhill from there. She's going to have reached the peak and have to find a new hobby now. Good job.
There's a possibility. Who knows? We've gone to in Queens, there's a museum. It's actually where they film Sesame Street. So there's a museum there that they show all the Muppets. So we went there. She loved it. And she makes puppets herself. So I don't know if this phase is going to end this weekend.
Oh, she makes Muppets. You need to send her to work.
Yeah.
Then.
Yeah, make no money. Make those puppets. We gotta call them Muppets so they wouldn't get, copyrights. Because at Disney. Yeah, so.
Oh, no. There we are.
I made it the thumbnail, but I wanted it to.
We already talked about it.
I know, but I want to hear.
We talked about it and Star Wars. It's done.
It's done. Just move on.
We intentionally just told you couldn't talk about it.
Is he?
We talked about that too. Sure. Hellboy. Daniel Craig in his latest movie. That's where I'm at with Hellboy. It's like I gotta see it. I can't judge on it now. It doesn't look good.
It doesn't.
Like at first when I heard about it, I was like, oh wow, this is exciting. It was like when I said, oh, Hellboy movie, I was like, oh cool, let me see this. And then when I see this, I'm like, ooh.
Did any of y'all know it was coming? Like, did any of y'all know it was being made? I had no clue until the trailer.
No. To be honest, I prefer something like this than having Todd McFarlane keep telling us Spawn is coming.
Yep. I'm not thinking it's going to be trash, but it's just such a large departure from where my mind's eye is on the Hellboy movie. It's got some things working in its favor that I think are still going to be challenging to get to.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, when I first saw it, I think it was in one of the chats, the IG chat, somebody posted it, and it almost had that low budget fan created almost. That's kind of what I first thought. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think it was real.
Yeah. and to be honest, it looks too bright. Like you could have darkened it to make it feel a little more gritty, right? Because they're basing it off of a story, one of the Hellboy stories.
Yeah, that takes place in the Appalachian Mountains in 1950. which I think that's what they did to like with a lot of most of the Hellboy stuff is just miniseries, a bunch of like super short miniseries of that 2-3 issues. This is a 3-issue miniseries, and that's why you can make him look a little younger, because this is not long after he's gotten here, and the story itself lends to not having to have sets, not having to have extras. You're literally just in the backwoods of the Appalachian Mountains in the 1950s, dealing with a horror story, which horror stories are, historically low budget success movies because they're so low budget. They don't require, it's a low bar to get your money back. So that, the movie has that going for it, but it's still like everyone has like this Wolverine lens toward Hellboy. Like Ron Perlman is Hellboy, like Hugh Jackman is Wolverine, and I don't disagree with that. But that's going to be its biggest hurdle, is getting people to even turn it on, because it could be a sleeper hit like Dredd was.
Dredd was awesome.
Dredd's a flawless movie.
Dredd was awesome. That movie came out on my birthday. I remember when it came out, and I went, "That is Dredd."
Yeah,
they got it.
Insane.
But to the point of Hellboy, like Perlman being Hellboy, yeah, I agree. Perlman is Hellboy, but I don't think Harbor was bad. I think Harbor was
bad at all.
I think I accepted Harbor as Hellboy. This guy I don't accept as Hellboy because he doesn't feel like Hellboy. He doesn't have that same.
Well, he
has the shoulders. Apparently,
we have to wait and see. He's got the brow. Like, I think it's like that large jaw that Ron Perlman has that helps sell the Mike Mignola look. You know what I mean?
The eyes as well.
But yeah, he's really just got it. Like, I don't even think they put him in makeup for that. They took Ron Perlman's makeup off and told him to go film Hellboy.
Puts a couple horns on him, and then they sawed him off, and
Yeah, he just normally keeps him more shaved down than Hellboy does.
Rob Perlman said, "Oh, you want me to play who? Absolutely. I don't have to wake up in the morning. I don't have to put makeup on. I could keep my skin color the same. Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Here's the question: who's going to play this guy?
The main man?
The main man.
I think time will tell, but I think it will be Momoa.
You think so?
Yeah. I think I think people want him to play. At some point, I think Momoa will eventually play him. In some way. Even if it's short-lived.
Yeah. Yeah. Are they done with Aquaman?
Aquaman's finished.
I mean, like...
Finished, yeah. He's done.
They're not doing a third or a fifth.
No, that's over.
That's done. I don't have anything. I think he can play that definitely that a-hole level, like he has no problem doing that.
Yeah.
So, but did anybody? Maybe you already talked about it. Did y'all see Beverly Hills Cop?
I have not. I definitely want to watch it though.
Yeah, I watched it last night because I forgot that it was on, and we, after Mark finished his 4th of July fireworks, I was like, that was amazing, first of all. But then I was like, oh, let me see what's on Netflix. And I saw that and I was like, oh, I'm staying up now. No, I was ready to go to bed, but I was like, nope, I got to see if this holds up. It's not bad. It's, they hit on there's a couple little jabs throughout the thing. You have the little Easter eggs you should listen to, and it pokes fun at the series. It's definitely a different spin. It's more up to date. He's not. I mean, he's still crazy. He's nuts. I mean, he's definitely nuts. But they had to bring in. You have to have a younger cast to do a lot of that.
Oh yeah. Eddie Murphy's not hanging off.
Yeah, no.
Hanging off amusement park rides anymore.
Right.
No, we'll definitely check it out. I mean, it's like one of those movies. Like if you catch on, like I know if my wife is flipping through the channels or movie channels, that'll be a movie that you'll just throw on to watch the rewatch.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's Marcus. It's not that it's just it is what it is. It's Beverly Hills Cop. So if you saw Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2, you know, and you enjoyed those, you'll love this one because it's pretty much the same venue. I mean, you know, chase scene, stuff blows up, cars get destroyed, you know, and then there's, you know, there's usually a bad guy, and there's a bad guy in this. And late, you know, I guess Kevin Bacon is the new bad guy forever because he does a good job. He was great in it. It's like, man, he's a total. Hey, Rob.
Yes.
Do you have the ability to bring Izzy back with your
he does
godlike powers?
Hold on. Sorry. I'm not behind a.
I'm back. I was
doing
got kicked
work.
out somehow.
I understand, Rob. I knew you were busy. I just, you know, I didn't want Izzy
By
to
the
feel
white
like he
glow
was-
on my face because of the Salesforce. Yeah, I'm working.
Yeah, I'm literally like somehow I'm talking and it went poof, my camera just goes off.
Mark went down to the 7-Eleven or something.
Yeah, I know, right? So Jim, to your point, I agree 100% with it. I think this movie was, first of all, it should have been the theaters, as I told Brian and Rob earlier. It should have been the theaters. This is a theater movie, especially with the car chases and
Well, it is a theater
that
movie,
helicopter scene. It should have been the movies.
but Netflix paid for it, so they're going to put it on their stream.
Yeah, but they would have made more money.
Maybe.
This movie would have made money.
Well, yeah, because all of us, our age, would have gone to see it.
We would have gone seen it.
Even though it's pretty much, like I said, it's like 1 and 2. If you loved 1 and 2, this is right in the same vein.
It's in the same it's in the same place I put 2 in. It hits the same tropes that you normally see. You know, there is this one scene that the scene in the bar, which I thought was hilarious. Not what I expected.
I don't know that guy's name. What is it? Luis
Guzman.
Yeah. He nailed it.
He had like what 5-10 minutes of screen time, and he killed it.
Yeah, he nailed his role. I mean, ain't nobody gonna be able to deny that. He nailed that role.
But I clearly died laughing when the helicopter scene. That was a great scene.
And that was new. That was a new piece to it that, you know, and again, it's not Eddie, it's somebody else handling it. But
another thing they did that was really interesting is that they went to places that look like places they went to in the old movies.
Yes.
Right? There was a lot of the sets looked very familiar.
That one house looks exactly like the house from the first movie.
Well, the house, obviously, they recreated the set of The Office.
Well,
right?
Yeah, obviously.
They recreate, but they didn't do that for the second one. The second one didn't feel that way.
Yes.
If you remember, the second one, it was like everything was very dark. They had a very dark tone with that movie.
Yeah.
But and it was fine, but it was cool. I liked and then they had that one guy that looked like Dolph Lundgren.
He did.
So I was like, wonder where they're going out with that guy. But it was a good movie. It's definitely worth watching.
Oh yeah, and I know Marcus is gonna watch it. He's just playing around. I know he's gonna watch it. There's some editing issues, which is a shame. It could have been a little tighter. All right, DBH. You know, I don't go at that level. If I don't see somebody's hand somewhere in front of the camera, editing was great.
Some guy wearing jeans and
we might have to vote Beverly Hills Cop as best editing for the CBC award.
I'm voting for Durs.
What's that?
I'm voting for Durs.
You're voting for Durs
after the burp intro.
Oh man.
Not sure I've seen that one yet.
Did you see the burp intro?
No.
No, it was, but I need to go back and watch that because I mean, you guys were like, that's why you always watch it, right? Watch before you post. Watch what you did.
There's a few times that's happened.
He took it down and clipped it out.
Oh,
damn. Yeah.
That's okay. It's been screen recorded. I'm sending it to you guys
It's been
now.
screen recorded.
Ain't nothing to get by Mark.
Mark watches the premiere episode just to make sure.
Mark's gonna be able to play it.
Like, be careful if it's a premiere episode. Guaranteed Mark's gonna watch it, not because he wants to see your content. He wants to see you goof up somewhere so he can say, "Oh, look what you missed."
Nah.
No, it was I think it came out last Monday or Tuesday. Let's see if I can
I've
get
said
it.
some whoppers on here. You guys clip me all the time.
Yeah. Clipping is fun. It brings the community together.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me one bit. I'm shocked and amazed that Chris the Comic Vet hasn't played the reprint lately.
He only plays that on Wednesdays. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's true. It's only on Wednesdays. So
That's good stuff.
Man, I've been going through my boxes looking for stuff to throw into the yard sale. Comics, just get rid of them. And I hate it, man, when I find an issue and I'm like, oh no. I gave John the entire run of 7 Secrets to read. And I was like, well, he didn't read them all because here's issue 5. So I texted him yesterday and said, did you not have issue 5? And he goes, yeah, I didn't say anything. I just went over that issue and kept going. You know, I mean, it wasn't in there. And I was like, you should have texted me so I could look for it. And I said, you know, if you want to, you can sell it. And he said, no, he wants to get, there's another guy that he works with that they trade off comics. He just traded him, not trade, but he lets him read them and then he gives them back.
They exchange.
They exchange, right.
What is up, all you beautiful legends? I hope you guys are off to a great week and happy Monday. As you saw to the intro, it is another one of my ABX hauls from ABX Comics and Games in Augusta, Georgia, my online LCS, and I love them more. What is up, all you beautiful?
What
That's his marker.
Yeah.
I was waiting for him to fall off the chair when you said that.
Yeah, that was a big burp, man. That was a Miller time burp.
Like a true champ, he blamed it on Mountain Dew and kept on pushing. But he took the video down and clipped it out.
He left, but he put it originally. He didn't realize he put that in the video.
He didn't look at it.
No, he said that the edit didn't take, like, I guess like he uploaded it, went to edit out and hit save or whatever. And the YouTube save after editing things not the greatest, you know.
Yeah,
it's definitely not.
But even so, he could have viewed his video before submitting the video.
I've never in the history of this channel watched one of my videos before I uploaded it. I just, well, for one, I don't.
But if you're doing you record live, I know that much, right? That's a little different. But like the rest of us, we record and we put it together, so we're watching the content before we put it up.
Yeah, I have a editing software that I put everything on before I even do it. So
yeah, but even still, you can make mistakes. I mean, because sometimes there's like, for me especially, like my biggest mistake is sometimes I'll forget to change the title card because I have a template that I drop stuff into, and it'll still say Monday mail call, and it's not a Monday mail call.
Yeah.
I actually had that the other day. I was uploading something, and I halfway through the upload, I was like reading something. I was like, oh, I went back. I was looking at something. I saw that. I was like, oh shit, I gotta cancel the upload, go back and edit. And
yeah, same thing here. It's like for me, sometimes what I miss out is if I'm doing an unboxing and I'm showcasing a comic, maybe an other comic book, or the titles were off or something like that, where I was like, oh man, I missed that. But what I really hate, what was that?
I just do typos all the time.
Typos is something, but it's an entirely different book.
The other one I'll get sometimes is like, and I've been pretty good at going back, and fortunately you can fix them easily enough, is I'll make a reference that I want to insert something from YouTube, at a YouTube, a card or something, into it, and I'll make some reference, and like I'm watching it later on and going, oh, because I recorded it and I edited it, but maybe I didn't upload it until a couple days later, and so I'll forgotten about it, and then like whenever I'm watching it, realize that I'm making a reference to something that's not there, and then I have to go back. But unfortunately, you can easily go back and edit and add that card now.
Yeah, that's
so,
like right there. No, it's not.
Ladies and gentlemen, YouTube royalty, Mr. DJ.
Speaking of editing,
that's right.
Yeah,
you use OpenShot's free. Yeah, I use worse. I use Microsoft Movie Maker. It's really freaking pathetic, but
it's a tool.
It's about all you can say about it. Yeah, it's like a mallet. It's not good. It's not great at anything. Yeah. I've got to take a look at something because I'm noticing I'm having issues with audio where my audio levels are too fucking low, and I can't increase them. I can't do much on the post production side, and on the front end, I'm already got the gain up high enough that I'm hearing too much of my breathing and stuff in my recordings. It's driving me crazy.
In all seriousness, you probably really should get CapCut. I think CapCut's definitely good for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
You got that Darth Vader sound, Rob.
Yeah, I get that. Sometimes I inhale and I hear it like regularly. I'm like, oh, God damn it. But I can't turn the gain down because I turn the gain down on the microphone. I'm already quiet. People have to turn up their volumes.
Crank up the volume. Crank up the volume.
Yeah, your mic is typically lower than the rest of ours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the microphone or it's just that in my mind, I do have this issue when normally conversing with folks is I have to remember to project louder than I think. In my head, I sound like I'm talking pretty loud, but I forget my voice actually registers at a rather low.
Yeah, well, I've hung out with you in person and online, and you just naturally kind of talk lower.
Yeah, and that's my problem.
That's a radio voice, right? I mean, that's part of it.
It's always like you're about to tell somebody a secret about the person standing right behind them.
Yeah, you see that, and that's it. I have to project. Go back to remembering to project more. So and PowerPoint. There you go. See,
wow. I use PowerPoint. I do use PowerPoint for certain things.
Know where to begin.
My title cards made in Word.
Yeah, Marcus has that same voice, but Marcus has that low, sexy voice. You know, like
what else? Sexy voice.
He's like a deep bass. He needs to have that 70s music playing in the background going. Yeah, I mean, I can't even do it. He's just he has such a deep
voice. Of that Only Slabs music going.
Yeah.
You know who needs volume control? Cliff. That's his whisper voice.
Yeah. I can get that way when I get excited sometimes when about talking about something. My wife is like, "Hey," she goes like that. "Bring it down. We're right here. Now, yeah. Bring it down. We're right here." And I'm like, I can't. That doesn't happen to Brother John. I think that skipped Brother John. I know it did.
Yeah, and like to DJ's point, audition, obviously that's a professional grade quality. That's definitely will do a lot of work. There's also, if you go, there's actually some really good, I know a lot of people hate the word AI, but there's some really good AI with voice quality that Adobe has that's good for cleaning up sounds, picking up sounds as well. So I did my last video where I forgot that my microphone wasn't on, and then I realized that I put it on afterwards. So obviously there was a shift in the sound, and I just put it in, and it's like, and it fixes most of it. Pots and kettles.
He's talking about it. Oh. Who's going? Man, you're going to jail. Obviously, easy. They're coming after you.
Who's going to jail? Me?
You the one with all that damn siren in the background?
No, that's an ambulance.
Oh, all right.
No, someone got shot. And it wasn't a firework. It's New York, man. What do you expect? This is the normal sounds.
This just confirms in my mind that AI wants to kill us. He's talking about eliminating breathing. I'm not for it.
Yeah, you could do it. Believe it or not, you could eliminate breathing. It sounds dumb though, but you could do it.
He said it. I didn't believe him, but now that you're saying it, I believe him.
Oh yeah, thank you. You're welcome. You could do pauses, breaths.
Did y'all talk about the little squirrel on the set photos? Did y'all see the little squirrel on the set photos?
So I got to ask about that because the whole Superman thing, right? Like, are we seeing? Why are we seeing so many set photos? Like,
they're letting you see it.
Yeah,
I know, but it just seems like it's overkill. The amount of stuff we're seeing.
The main reason behind it is because previously, when James Gunn has made movies that most of us have watched in the past few years, they don't do like a bunch of on location filming. They're on like actual sets, closed sets, or using the volume. They're using excessive amounts of green screen, which most people are sick of and want something different. He's shooting on locations for this. This is pretty much just a giant scene that we're seeing sets photos from. It's all in the same
it's one scene,
movie and everything. And because of that, they're shooting in Cleveland, in the city, and people can be in their apartment, they can be at work, they can be wherever they want to be, and they can look out the window and see the movie being filmed where it's closed off. You can't get there, but all of these photos, despite having so many, they're from very, very, very far away. So people just have a line of sight to what's happening, and that's all you can really do these days when your phones have 100 times zoom lens on them, or professional cameras have those long lens and Cleveland. Exactly. But that's why it's all from just this one spot. But
is that the Green Lantern squirrel?
That's what everyone's thinking.
Yeah.
The squirrel in an all clear box, and Superman crouched down conversing with it. So that right there makes me think that this scene might be like potentially toward the end of the movie. Like, is this the big final fight out here in the streets with the whole super team and Chip the Squirrel?
I think it's different.
I
think it's the early scene.
I need to step away. I have to focus on some work stuff. So, Mark, I'm glad you're back. You guys, thank you all.
See you, Rob.
Talk to you later.
See you, Rob.
So I think it's an early scene. I think part of it is that they want us. I think what James Gunn is doing is he's allowing these images to go out to bring it the hype, because it's part of a hype train. But there's a hype train that goes on with it.
I think it's not. I don't think that's working as they put it. But he's posted like they're just filming in a place you can't stop people from. You don't even know these pictures are being taken. You can't.
Yeah, but it gets out, and once it gets out, they could probably stop it if they really wanted to. They don't want to stop it.
How do you think that would happen?
Yeah, how would you stop me if I took a photo?
So what they would do is they will contact the person that did the image, and then they would say, "Hey, we want to post this down," because they could do a copyright type of thing.
You couldn't copyright.
They've done that before.
You could not copyright someone's photo they took from their house in the public area.
What are you copywriting? Also, how do you?
They would pull. There are things that get pulled out all the time.
Yeah, but what are they copywriting? What are they copywriting? The movie hasn't even come out yet. They can't.
They would try to pull it off.
You can't declare anything.
It's not legal. I'm not saying it's legal.
Give me an example.
Yeah, you're reaching there.
No, I'm just saying they've done it.
Well, but it would be just a whack-a-mole type thing, right? As soon as you knocked one down, the next one.
Yeah, there's going to be another one. But I think they're actually allowing it to happen. They know what they're doing.
They have no ability to not allow it.
Yeah, well, let's put it this way. What I think they're doing is they are allowing it because they don't have any control over that. But what he is controlling is specific pieces that he's posting, like the newspaper. Didn't he post the newspaper?
But he's allowing them to do it because he's letting them take these images. They could have easily closed the set in some way. They could have blockaded that.
They could have.
No, what I'm saying is he's posting.
They could have filmed elsewhere, but if you look, these photos are like the vast majority of these photos are being taken from high up, looking
at an angle
with a massive zoom. That's why the chip to squirrel stuff looks. It's not a 1080 photo. It's a massively zoomed in photo.
So my question is he's
camera
posted his own,
snipers
right?
off in the distance doing work.
Mark,
what?
He's posted his own photos though, right?
I don't think he's been posting.
Not of those characters.
No. I'm talking about James Gunn has posted like that newspaper.
The newspaper, yeah.
That was from on set also. Someone on set.
Okay. I thought he had posted
the Metropolis images.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure those were not James Gunn's posts.
Okay. I thought that might be what he's doing to combat what's being taken from everybody else. He's like, well, I'm going to show a clip of this and a little bit of that, and
I think he's loving it.
James Gunn hasn't posted anything from on set on his account. The last thing he posted was Chris Pratt was there with him, looking at the process.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, the last thing he posted was.
Didn't he have an Eagly shirt on or something?
Yeah, I'm talking about like Superman related though.
Yeah.
He posted the skylight lit up red and blue.
Yeah,
like he stopped when the set photos started coming out. He stopped.
Well, when's San Diego happening? About 2 or 3 weeks?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's when they're gonna show some stuff there, I'm sure.
I bet we get a teaser, maybe. Not anything that shows anything.
I don't know if they have enough footage for a teaser because they would have to do some major work.
Well,
they're recording right now.
You don't need footage for a teaser. You can
unless it's like a logo type of thing or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can do like a creative, just music, couple of images, not even
voiceover. Yeah,
not even film images.
San Diego Comic-Con is July 25th through the 28th.
Y'all see where Supergirl movie? A report came out that they're had Jason Momoa and doing something. Not they're speculating that he was looking at being eyed for a role in the Supergirl movie, and people are like, "Oh, it's Lobo." But if they're adapting that book, I mean, they can add characters, obviously, but he's played fantastic SOBs in the past, and that Supergirl book is about them chasing down some SOBs.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
You think he might play one of those guys?
I hope they don't waste him by not giving him a significant role. Like, I'd love for him to have a significant role in MCU.
He's got to have a significant role somewhere.
AR said they made a very specific choice filming out in the air like that, but he said it was confident. That hypes him up. That the confidence just to put themselves out there like that.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely seems like they're trying to build a little bit of hype around it, right? By some of this stuff. But I'm just from a fan perspective thinking about it, like, we don't want so many spoilers, right? We'd want a little bit left to, the official trailer and movie. So that's why
I guess all this stuff, like, because James Gunn hit what he has posted is he went saying nothing significant has been spoiled in the movie yet. Mm-hmm. And it was confirmed we knew all these characters were in there. It just sucks that our first official look at them is some grainy long distance shot, and you can tell Nathan Fillion has a bad wig on, and it takes some of the magic out of it. It takes some of the kayfabe away.
Mm. Well, I mean, there seems to be a lot of hype around obviously there's been a lot of hype around Deadpool and Wolverine, but there seems to be some more spoilers that have been coming out the last week or so with some additional
they're
characters.
Choosing to put out. Mm-hmm. I think that the Superman stuff is just absolutely taken over social media because every day you have a new photo with something else and there's something to talk about, and that's what people are talking about. And I honestly think that last Deadpool TV spot was intentionally cut to try to get some more traction. Because you got to think these media teams that are paid through the roof to put this stuff out there, they're looking at hard numbers. Like, we're getting this many interactions, this many views, this many shares, and they're like, we need more. We need more because the internet's talking about this. Let's get them talking about that. So they dropped Sabretooth.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think some of us knew about the Sabretooth. We knew a lot about it because there's, again, a set photo of the head. So we know what happens to that Sabretooth at the end.
Yeah, and that's when Ryan Reynolds came out and asked people to quit being dicks, and and then he started putting out fake set photos, like ridiculously obviously, intentionally obvious fake set photos, just to be Deadpool about it, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, have you seen the big statue
of what, Deadpool?
Of Deadpool,
where he's laying down.
Yeah, he's laying down. They said the statue's pretty big.
Yeah, I just want to see a trailer of the Superman movie because I think it's just going to be. It's gotten to the point for me where it's kind of just cringe. Like just thinking about how this movie's going, just from what we have. Like, there's no reason to not trust James Gunn, but the images itself are just like killing this. Like killing the hype for me. I'm still like sure it'll come out fine, but I'm ready to see what it looks like.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be as good as Acolyte for sure.
Bye, Jim.
Yeah, if people can watch The Acolyte and enjoy it, they should be fighting for Superman to get an Oscar.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what? It could get an Oscar. Just saying.
Y'all remember how last week when that the bad twin May did the little switcheroo with her twin sister and ran off with the Jedi? I was on here talking about how that's so stupid because Saul can sense people because he's a freaking master Jedi.
Yeah.
They're like, well, maybe he didn't just invade her mind because they wouldn't just do that. That's not very Jedi, just invade their mind. Well, he did right at the beginning of this episode. She's sneaking up behind him, getting ready to kill him. He's like, Osha, like without even looking, like, yo, you just sensed her, like sensed her wrong. Like this show's so dumb. Like that's how.
Well, I mean, forget the sensing. How about just the smell of burnt hair? I mean, she just lightsabered her hair off. That's got to leave a little bit of smell.
They wouldn't talk the same because they're two different people.
Yeah. I still.
Yeah, I definitely thought that was a little weird thing that he didn't figure that out.
Yeah, I still like it though.
I'm still on that name, OSHA.
Well, yeah.
Sounds like a government agency name.
It's a safety name.
Did y'all catch how? Did y'all watch The Acolyte?
Not this last episode.
Last episode I saw was the third one.
Perfect. Jim, do you remember when they got to Kufar, before the episode before the big lightsaber fight? How they're walking through the woods and they're like, something's weird here, and like there's those giant bugs on the tree.
Right.
They don't they're like.
Oh, I saw that. I saw the bugs.
They're looking at the trees at the bugs and not realizing that that's the weird thing. And then even Osha's like tapping on one and touching it, not knowing what it is, and then it gets up and it flies around and Saul has to kill it, and they're like, what the hell are those? And this episode, when the Jedi walk up to a couple of locals, they're like, oh, the Uber moths are on the move. Yeah, that could definitely kill a lot of people. That's crazy. Those Uber moths, you got to watch out for them. All of a sudden, they know what the hell they are and name them and act like they're assuming other people based on these things. Like they
went back and checked the database.
They got a guide. They got a guidebook.
Ignores itself. It's so bad.
They got a guidebook that says the Lord of the Acolyte. You know, the complete.
What was that little rat dude? You know, went and told him, "Hey, this, yeah."
That was the green lady and that weird guy that just knew what they were.
Which green lady? The green lady, the Jedi. That's the one that looks like she came from V.
Yeah, Leslie Headland's green girlfriend.
Man, I'm telling you, she's playing a tough one in this, man. She's crossing the line. She could be She could be a Sith. I don't know.
All the Jedi are.
So if it's extremely predictable, then it's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's been a fun part. Is like everyone early on, like it's a mystery. It's a big mystery. You got to wait and see how the mystery unfolds, and then the show gets bad reviews, and Leslie Headland comes out. You know, it's not meant to be like you don't know. So it's a mystery where we know what the answers are. Got it.
Yeah.
When it started, you were doing a mystery. Now it's not a mystery. It's just a really bad show. It's unfortunate. Good morning, JB.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I am well. How are you?
I'm good. Have you processed your new collection?
No. No, it's still just sitting in boxes.
Is it all trade paperbacks?
Yeah, and hardcovers.
Mm.
Yeah, I saw a couple books in there that I'm interested in. And JB sent me the price on them. I'm like, I'm not as interested.
Yeah, I tried to go.
29.
I thought I went under eBay sold prices, but I could be wrong. So please.
As they say, he was trying to be conservative. He was very liberal with his prices.
Sold prices on anything. I just looked at the numbers you sent me.
Gotcha.
Did you post a video, or did you post them up on IG?
He posted an IG link or IG post with all the spines, so you can see everything in there.
Oh, nice.
Poorly. You can see it poorly.
Yeah, I just
Isn't it like Chew or something? One of them.
Yeah, but that's the one that the most people message me about. Like that was by far the most requested.
Really?
Which one was it?
Chew.
Y'all are saying it at the same time. Chew, CHEW?
Chew.
Oh.
Chew?
What is that?
It was a John Layman image series.
Yeah.
From how old is it now?
It's not that. I don't know. Maybe like 4 years ago.
No, it's older than that.
You think?
Yeah. You talking about Chew?
Yeah.
Oh, Chew's old.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I think even over 10 years or something like that.
What have you heard? What has messaged you the least? I mean, like, what's the book in there that nobody cares about?
There's a lot of those.
Yeah, see?
Ultimate Fantastic Four.
$5.
But that's the first appearance of the Maker.
Send it to me. $5.
But it's the trade paperback.
Does it have
$5?
Does it have the?
It's the
the zombies
trade yard sale paperback.
Does it have the Marvel zombies in it?
No, because I think it's only like the first 6 issues.
Okay.
Chew started in 2009. It ran from 2009 to 2016.
Yeah, over 10 years.
I don't know. I didn't know. I heard somebody say that was a good one, and I was like, well.
It was popular. Isn't it a spinoff of Walking Dead or something like that?
No.
So which was the spinoff of Walking Dead? There was a spinoff of Walking Dead.
There was?
Fear the Walking Dead?
No, not a TV spinoff. I don't remember. Yeah.
What did you buy it specifically for, Justin?
So the series that I want to keep out of it is Manifest Destiny and FBP, Federal Bureau of Physics.
Okay.
Those are the 2 series that I know I have at least the first trade of. I might have the second. I'll have to go back and look, but those were the 2 series in there that really caught my eye. Because I tell myself I will eventually read them, but I know I probably won't.
Isn't that the case for most of our books that we have?
And he wouldn't just sell you those 2?
Well, it was a stupid price that I paid for all 125 of these books.
Okay.
So it would have been dumb not to buy all of them.
Now that I know that, can you reassess the total you sent me?
Sure.
I know
Give me a
that
better price.
Yeah, you just outed yourself there, bro.
Oh, I know.
Well, Jim, they're trade paperbacks and hardbacks, so there's no way if you bought these, you didn't get them for a couple bucks a book. There's no way. No one would buy this many collected volumes of books for more than a couple bucks a book. No one would sell them for more than that.
This collection of books.
Collections of books.
Yeah, I mean, I heard that Zara's was, really wanted JB's X-Men 1, but Birch was being a little sketchy. That's that's the rumor out on the street.
Crazy thing is, they're not far off from each other. But has he got it from you yet, by chance?
Nope. So I sent him that price, and I yet to hear back from him.
Sorry, guys, I gotta go. I'll see you.
Ours might be a grass is greener on the other side kind of guy. Sure. Like, he's like, I like that price. Let me think about it. I'll let you know.
I do have some printed Justin Birch lettering in.
Look at that.
That's the Doctor.
You gotta mail those already, Brian.
This is the proof print, so we've gone to printing.
Nice.
I forget. I can't remember. Who were you using to print?
Wellspring Comic was.
Oh, okay, that's right. Yeah. I know I asked that, and I forgot.
Slipper roll number 1, never disclose your cost.
Some logos in there.
It's this one right here. See, VOL, that means volume. Plus is up, minus is down.
That's right, Bubs.
Then hit the plus. Yep.
Well, did you have fireworks where you live, Justin?
We did.
Nice.
Went, took the kids out. So we sat in a Lowe's parking lot, far enough away that it wouldn't be as loud for our 3-year-old, and made it so that we could exit quickly.
Right. I didn't even go to ours. I just watched Mark's on the YouTubes. It was just as good, probably better. From what I understand, I talked to it. I've been up since like 5:30, and I went to the park because I'm like, let's see what these idiots dropped on the ground. And I talked to a guy, and he's like, yeah, I was here last night. It was not that great. And I was like, really? And he's like, yeah, didn't even last that long. And I was like, My buddy had one down in Georgia that lasted like 20 minutes. It was amazing.
In the street.
Yeah, in the street. Yeah, let's talk about that for a second. I was, Mark, does your brother have to have, well, no, probably not, because it's Georgia. There's no rules down there. He didn't have to have like a, I don't know, some type of
rules are for communists, Jim.
Permit. Well, I know you can buy like firecrackers on the side of the road in South Carolina. You can go to Pedro and get them at the border.
Well, South Carolina, there's actual fireworks shops as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
No, like every gas station had a little trailer. They're popping up all on the corners everywhere.
And not even that, Brian. If you go down like to North Augusta, famously has always had Wacky Waynes, and like for years, because like I live in Augusta, Georgia, right on the Savannah River. So like we're just right over the bridge, you go into South Carolina. Growing up, fireworks were, air quotes here, illegal in Georgia, but they weren't in South Carolina. So I think because North Augusta being like just right over the bridge, they've always been able to cater to two markets, like the market of South Carolina people who always can shoot off fireworks, and the market of people from Georgia who would drive over the bridge, get them, and bring them back. Right. So they have large year-round fireworks stores.
Nice.
And but the ones that y'all saw, they came from Valdosta, Georgia. Drove down to the bigger distributor. Placed an order ahead of time. Go down to a distributor and pick up everything you can, all the way up to a certain weight class, which requires legal intervention.
Right.
Yeah. So those things were all the way up to a weight class where you'd have to have a permit. And then the trick is just to buy a lot of the ones from that weight class and wire them all together. So you just light them back. Yeah.
I mean, Costco here has fireworks.
Yeah.
You can buy fireworks at Costco.
You can get like those standard mortars now, like, and those things are nice. Like they're really good.
Yeah. I'm just not in Maryland, they don't let you do jack without having some type of certificate where they can tax you or make you pay. And so.
Well, that was the thing in New York. Fireworks were illegal, but Pennsylvania, you could go to Pennsylvania. They weren't, so you could go there and get them. So.
Straight out of Pennsylvania. Sopranos, selling them out of the back of a semi truck too.
Yo, you want some fireworks? Here you go.
Yeah,
I just was curious. I didn't think so.
It's kind of my brother's thing. Like he loves. Awesome. He's like for a handful of years now. Every year he just does them bigger and bigger and bigger. You know, they buy he gets boards, you know, and then he'll just take the fireworks and kind of look at what they do and attach them to the board and then just wire the fuses together.
Sure.
So you just light them and back up. And they had 8 boards this year. And then he had like a mortar.
It was massive, Jay. I'm telling you. A mortar
chamber, like where he had, it was like, I think it was like 20 mortars, you know, like not the actual, the tubes. He had those wired together. But then through the whole thing, there was just a line of, I think it was 10 mortars that he just had that he put on a board where then he took the mortars and he put them down into the tubes and he wired them together. Then he lifted them out and put them down. Then he reloaded it, wired them together, lifted them out, put them down. So the whole time they were going off, if you watch the video, you'll see him with like just a row of mortars that he'll light and they'll just let him shoot off. And he'd go and just tip it over, dump it out, stand it back up, pull the string up and just lower it back down, light it. So he does great with like prepping it up and everything. And this year as well, I don't know if you noticed, I was watching like his stuff, but if I just turn slightly this way, like one house length down, his neighbors from across the street were doing theirs. So like if I would have backed up and sat on the front porch, it would have just been like 4 house lengths that was all just lit up 20 something minutes straight.
Yeah, it is a good thing you live where you live, because if that was freaking California, there'd be a tree fire everywhere.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, that poor tree is getting the brunt of that.
Yeah, I told him that. Like, I'll put them pine trees through hell.
Also, I believe I saw Finn eyeballing that dirt bike. I think he said, I heard him say, "Dad, dirt bike time. Time for dirt bike, Dad."
He asked me at one point, "Are they going to jump over the fireworks?" I'm like, "I don't think we're doing stunts tonight, buddy."
You said that'd have been awesome.
Yeah.
I think every kid should have a dirt bike. I did my most damage on a dirt bike. I thought it was great. Well, that's great.
It was fun. It was really fun. JB, I put up a clip on Instagram, just a little short on YouTube and Instagram. I just sent it to you so you can see the setup.
If there's no one jumping over them on a dirt bike, I don't.
This is before they were lit off.
Oh, there's nobody jumping.
And where I started the video is like, because they were done in like order, like from like, there's no small ones, but from the smaller ones to like the bigger stuff. The one that's like up on a table is clearly the bigger ones, just like boxes and boxes.
That one board that had, I don't know, it looked like 24 mortar shells rigged together.
Yeah.
Like that, yeah. He doesn't mess around.
No, he doesn't. Yeah, it's thousands of dollars worth of fireworks.
I'm assuming like as soon as it hits June 1st, like he's like, all right, it's time to go, and just starts rigging the boards up.
Yeah, it's fun. And then the actual cardboard box, you can see the string of ordnances to reload them with.
Mm-hmm. What the heck, man? No in the mix, huh?
DJ's on vacation this week, and then next week I leave for vacation. Holy crap, 1 week from today. Thank God. I'm so ready to go.
I get jury duty, maybe.
Oh, fingers crossed.
No, not so much.
Go in there dressed like a executioner from the 1400s.
I got a call on Sunday to see if my number gets called, if I have to go in or not. I don't know. It stinks, man, because if your number gets called and you go in there, there's no guarantee they're gonna pick you. I mean,
yeah, but then you'll get dismissed, though.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah.
Yeah, you will get dismissed, but you still have to call in the rest of the week. Like,
it just lives in your head, just lingers there.
Well, it basically, you have a week that you call in and like, so one time I had to do it years ago, and they called my number, so I went down there and I sat there, I don't know, for like 4 hours, and then they came in the room and said, yeah, you guys can leave, we got everybody we need. And I was like, that sucked. So,
but I mean, then you get service, and then you don't have to, you won't get called for like 5 or 7 years or whatever it is, though.
Yeah, but a buddy of mine said that after he did that, he got a federal one. And I was like, no, I'm not going to Baltimore. Screw that. Well,
so the last one in New York that I got called for, I had to go. They wanted me to go to Brooklyn. It was like, it would have taken me an hour and a half every morning to get there, and I was like, yeah, I'm not.
You should just tell them to get DJ Links to do it.
Well, that's what I sent them, his direct information.
To spread love.
He would spread love all through the.
That's what I said. I told him it was the Brooklyn way. So
yeah, the Brooklyn way, right? I agree. See, DJ, he don't even want to come into your neighborhood. He's like, no, can't do it. Well, I don't know. There's nothing happens here in Frederick. Not really. Probably. All I know is I got bamboozled because they changed my number. The clerk called and asked a question about did I have any medical things going on or vacation going on this specific week? And I thought it was weird because it wasn't the week of when I'm supposed to make the call. And I said, well, no. And then she said, good, I'm putting you down in group 88. I was like, well, what does that mean? Well, you have the potential to be on a bigger trial that could go up to 2 weeks. And I was like, fudge, no, definitely no. So, I should definitely come up with something crazy.
I have an idea. It's called explosive diarrhea.
Oh, Lord. But work is pretty slow right now, so it's not, I get paid either way at work, so maybe I do just say, hey, can't be any more boring than the fact that I have to be busy when I work. I don't know about you guys, but when I go in, I want to be working, and we just haven't had a lot of work, so.
That'd be super rough for a year, good God.
I got called for grand jury duty. And I actually got selected, and I had to, it was basically for a month, but we listened to different cases and determined whether they would go to trial or not.
Right.
So that was interesting because it was something new pretty much every day.
There you go, Jim.
Yeah, you can't do that. You have to send them. That's why they asked. If you have any type of medical procedure going, you have to prove it.
Tell them your buddy's doing it for you. Call them and verify.
Yeah, I'll get a number here. Tell them you're Dr. Bombay. There you
go. Dr. Bombay.
Oh, man.
What'd you pick up this week? Anything good?
What did I pick up this week? Just, not really. Just the stuff that, I don't even, it's all downstairs. I'm reading it downstairs. The Blood Hunt tie-ins, really, more than anything. And I've just decided they're not good.
You should have asked me before you bought the first one.
They're not as good as DC versus Vampire was. I mean, there's only been one that I've read. The last issue of the Black Panther was any type of significant information that came out. Like, to me, I would consider that one the key in the whole thing, because he comes out and says who he is directly, like, and gives like a little backstory and everything else. And I'm like, okay, so this was the one. The rest of it has just been like, hey, Spider-Man, you and I are gonna fight these guys, and this group is fighting these guys. And I was like, this has just not been what I thought it was gonna be. So, but I'm already all in. I've been buying them, so I got to finish it up. But yeah, I didn't buy anything else. I'm getting ready to pull the trigger today on those some silver rounds from a place that I buy silver from, and they got Mecha Godzilla, Ghidorah, Mothra. I'm getting all them beasties today. And I'll post them up and show them.
Were the new Ghost Machine books this week or last week? I think they were last week.
They were last week. I did read Rook. I still love Rook. Rook is amazing. I mean,
that was really cool meeting all the other wardens and stuff. That turtle warden was super cool.
I mean, where do you go? A turtle has like a cannon on it, for crying out loud.
She's that way.
That was amazing.
I like how they did his dialogue, because no matter how hard I tried, I wasn't able to read it at a normal pace. I was reading it slowly and pausing with the paw. I'm like, come on. Ugh. I was trying to shake it off and just read through it, and I couldn't. And it was really cool how they highlighted and spotlighted each of the other wardens that were getting called in.
Yeah, I mean, I like that better than the other one. Wasn't there supposed to be another title coming with those two?
Now you have Geiger, Rook, and Redcoat till October, and then the next round drop with Hyde Street and the Rockefellers.
Okay, that's what I was thinking of, the Rockefellers.
Yeah, I'm really excited for Hyde Street as well. It's a mystery that's not so obvious.
Yeah.
You want to read Space Ghost this week? That's the one I have sitting right here on the top of my stack.
Oh, yeah, I did get that, but I didn't get the Chew cover because I didn't like it. I didn't think it was that good.
Yes.
Yeah, I did get that. I read that already. That's classic Space Ghost. He's like,
yeah, no, it's been a fun little series.
Yeah, it's family friendly up to a point, but in like those first two issues, he's like Space Ghost R-rated. He's like, screw you kids, and I'm out for a mission. I'm out to take this down, and they kind of like backtalk him and are like, listen, Space Ghost, we're gonna find out their stuff, and if you want to help us, great. If not, we can do it without you. And so then they realize they should stay together. But this last issue, it's like he's having them learn, part of surviving and trusting in people and who not to trust. I like that. I like that issue.
Yeah, I liked issue 2 a lot.
Yeah,
he got a little backstory with the family-friendly moment where his wife and children were killed. And then you get like that whole like him like kind of letting off all that steam, like taking out the meteor shower,
blasting away.
Now is it an ongoing or is it just a mini?
Space Ghost?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either.
Slated as ongoing. I haven't seen anything that said otherwise. Same thing for Rook DVH. Rook is ongoing.
Yeah. I would think Space Ghost is at least going to be 12 issues. I mean, they can have to fight a lot of different people to get to the point of where they want to be, take down the big bad.
I mean, I think the Rook has been my favorite. I think Redcoat's been good. They're all different, but Rook I think has been.
I thought I was really going to write Redcoat, but sometimes I just read it and want to punch the guy in the face. I just want to punch Simon in the face and go, "You were such an idiot."
Yeah,
they let an idiot become immortal.
He fell into it literally.
Yeah.
That's what I think. That's what I like about it, and I've compared it to it numerous times. But he's like Jack Sparrow, like he's falling up through the whole issue. They're sitting there conjuring the spell to try to take out the people chasing them, and they blow their own wagon up.
And I mean, he's got Einstein, for crying out loud. I mean,
young Einstein.
Yeah,
young Einstein.
I don't know. I sometimes I read that.
I like that lore, man. The lore that they're putting into it is fantastic. How they explain the acts that that cut him, that is taking his immortality and killing him, is the axe George Washington used to chop down the cherry tree.
Right.
It's called the Axe of Lies because George wasn't exactly as truthful as history remembers him as. And when his dad asked him if he cut down the tree, he didn't admit to it. He said, no, it was the neighbors. And next thing you know, the neighbors get disappeared.
Yeah, they got arrested.
Yeah. So over time, that axe that he had from a child, it kind of became magic as it built up all these lies and violence through the years of war and stuff. Thought that was really cool.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, I think people are buying Space Ghost. BLC said he talked to Drew Moss about Thundercats because people have been buying it. They're going to continue the run.
Yeah,
I think people buy the covers.
They're selling it on covers. They're not selling it on the story.
I think they're selling the covers is what they're doing, because that Chitara cover was amazing.
Well, and there's a lot of covers too.
But and they do like 6 or 7 variants every issue.
That's what they're doing with Space Ghost. They do, what is it? They do 4 covers, but there's 4 versions of each cover. You have the standard trade dress and virgin.
Right.
Then you have the foil trade dress and virgin, and you do that 4 times. You have a lot of covers.
Yeah. Well, they've also had, the first issue had like probably 25 covers. It had all these different people wanting to do their version of Space Ghost. So, I mean, you saw, hold on a second.
Here we go. One of my favorite George Washington stories is he finally gets to go home to Mount Vernon, starts touring his property, finds a bunch of people living on it, and kicks their asses right off. I figured it might be like Mark Miller stuff where we get the first arc and then later a second arc. Pretty cool. Yeah, that'd be cool too. The only, the downside with the Miller stuff is, I mean, the guy's got his own schedule, but there's been some long breaks between some of that stuff. Long breaks. People have been waiting on the final volume to Jupiter's Legacy for years now, but it's announced. It's solicited. I don't know if it has a release date, but they've got posters, and I even shared one on my social media a couple of weeks back. Now he's moved to Dark Horse. I guess he had to have a body of work to take with him to sell over at Dark Horse, but you have Nemesis Reloaded coming, Nightclub Volume 2, the finale to Magic Order, the finale to Jupiter's Legacy, Huck Volume 2. So he's got a large amount of stuff that's supposed to be coming out through Dark Horse. There you go. Phil said it was in this last month's preview. Perfect. Yeah, I'm very excited for that. Very excited for that. What are you working on, Jim?
This. Did you see this? This is the one I got the trade with Raiders of the Long Box.
Oh, that's a nice remark.
That's
awesome. I don't know who Dave Beatty is. I don't know who that is, but I guess he did the remark.
Yeah. The cover looks good too. That's a really nice cover.
Yeah, he showed that in a chat I'm in when we were right. I think it was like either before or after. I think it was after Heroes Con or right before Heroes Con, and he was like, I said that's what I was going to be doing, is getting a lot of covers done, and he showed a bunch of different stuff he'd gotten over the years, and I said, dude, I have to have that Firestorm, and he's like, well, let's do a trade, and that's when I found that Showcase 75. So I bought that for like $40. I mean, that's fair. That's probably
what
like, I don't know.
What did you trade him?
That Showcase 75.
Oh.
He was looking for that one, and it was the only one I could find in the con that looked decent. I mean, there was another 2 that I saw, but one was wrecked. I was like, and the guy wanted $40. I was like, no, I'll keep going. But because that was a book he was looking for, so I felt like he I found a decent one for him, and that's first Hawk and Dove. So he got what he wanted, and then I got what I wanted. Now John swears that if he comes up to the house, it's going to disappear.
I believe it.
He's giving me fair warning. He's like, just for the record, that might disappear. So, and I was like, yeah, well, you never know. If you're good, maybe that'll be what comes in your stocking from Santa. Who knows? And then I got this right after I got back from Heroes Con. I looked for it at Heroes Con, but I didn't see one that was in a decent condition that they didn't want an arm and a leg. So I got this from Dave.
Marvel preview.
Yeah. I got that from Mark Spector Comics. As soon as I got home, he posted it, and I was like, that's the price I wanted to pay at Heroes Con. I'll take that one. And it's clean. The story is terrible. I read it.
Very.
I was like, this is terrible. This is not a good story at all. But the cover is phenomenal, and that's why I wanted it. Yeah, I think this is going to be my next round of things I'm looking for. This is the second appearance of Space Ghost, but I want all the TV superheroes. So,
yeah, the first one's a little bit more pricey.
Yeah,
I think that one has a better cover.
Yeah, I went and looked around and saw that they have some other books, but I have to save up for all that stuff. So, all right, I got to go. I was out digging, and I got to I'm trying to get my video to upload here.
Make sure you watch it first.
I'm just, yeah, I will for sure. But I got to shoot the wrap up. I got to put everything on the board, and it was amazing. I got up and went to the park because I just knew no digging would be needed, and it was just everywhere. You just, oh look, here's a quarter. Here's a dime. Here's a penny. But I did dig up some stuff that, was, but the ground's so hard. Anything that was deeper than 2 inches, forget it. I just passed it and kept on going. But I found a cool ring. So.
Did you keep it or did your wife get it?
She's probably going to end up taking it. It's one of those, and I'm going to say it wrong. Collada rings.
Collada
rings. It's like the two hands and the heart.
Irish, yeah, collada.
Yeah, it's like I think it's like an Irish ring, an Irish love ring or something. But so she said, I think that's going in the ultrasonic cleaner, and we're going to clean it, and it's going to be a mine because it fits this finger perfectly. I was like, aha. But let me shoot the video first, and then you can have it. So, yeah.
You found somebody else's love ring.
It's a friendship, love.
Yeah, friendship, whatever. Yeah. All I know is it was in the ground and I dug it up. So that one I did have to dig up because it was not laying on the surface. But I was amazed at how much money was just laying on the surface. I tried to find some keys for this guy that he thinks he lost, but I said, you didn't lose them here. Because I've already done this whole square, and I'm telling you didn't lose it. This might have been where you sat, but that ain't where you lost the keys, because I would have heard those. He's like, yeah, I think we lost them way over, somewhere else. So
everyone else done their vacation this summer? Do y'all vacation during the summer?
Usually, but we're not doing anything this year. We're planning a trip to Hawaii for my wife and I's 25th anniversary, wedding anniversary. So we're doing that in January.
When is that?
January. Well, our anniversary is in December, but we're going to go on vacation in either January or February. That's nice. The trip.
We may go. I don't know. We'll see. I've got to talk to. We may go to. If we can get a cheap flight. We have a person that lives in Bermuda. She's already called us and said, anytime you guys want to come over, just, her son is staying in London to work. He's going to London School of Economics, and he got an internship job. So she's like, there's a room available if you want to come and spend a week or whatever. So we may go over there. Maybe, but she's got to find a cheap flight. I don't want to. I mean, we already, because we're doing the same thing. We're trying to save up for a cruise next year. Those things ain't cheap.
JB, what do you do for vacation?
I go to the beach with my in-laws.
Oh, that's too bad.
What y'all's go to? What beach y'all like?
They go to Myrtle every year. They stay at the same place every year.
You get some good fireworks there.
I don't like the sun. I don't like being outside, so it's awful.
You don't like the sun. You don't like being out. I mean, look, I can't, like, these freckles. I mean, they don't do well out in the sun. I mean, my skin is not meant for the sun. So I will, but even if I go to the beach, man, I'm definitely getting in the water or something.
Nah, I'm okay without that.
we go to the same place every year, and I prefer that because I'm going on vacation. I'm not going on a trip. You know, I'm not traveling.
Yeah.
I'm just getting out of the work radius.
Yeah, the regular day-to-day stuff, right? Yeah.
Yeah, trying to go somewhere relaxing, and there's plenty to do. It's St. Simon's is really chill. But there's plenty to do, and the kids are happy just watching cartoons and running around outside and playing in the pool. Everything else is just icing on top.
There you go. Yeah, where were you going, Wellbore? Wellbore had to cancel his because up there in Canada they don't know, they have a strike or something going on, and they had to cut his off. All right, got to go shoot my stuff.
I'm about to hop off here too. I got a late start to the day, so I'm about to go play catch up, and Kyle's got to work here in just a few minutes.
Okay.
I'm about to finish off Game of Thrones watch through. I do want to say, like, historically, Game of Thrones is known for having an ending that people weren't happy with. They said the quality dropped. You know, it felt rushed. The show outpaced the books coming out. And I've made it to see the final season, which is a short season at that, only 6 episodes. I'm halfway through it. And it's stayed pretty consistent up to this far. And Marcus points out they made one decision at the end that just kind of like throws a wrench in everything. But I was wondering like how good, like shows or movies in the past I wasn't happy with. I've come to learn that they hold up better than I originally thought they did.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I tried to watch. I tried to watch St. Elmo's Fire the other night, and yeah, it does not hold up.
Doesn't.
I didn't think it was. I mean, when it came out, we were like, "Oh my god, this is amazing!" I got halfway through it and looked at my wife and goes, "This is not good anymore. It doesn't." She goes, "Well, you're 56. When that came out, we were in our, you know, we were those kids. I mean, they were just young people." And I was like, yeah, but I don't know. I thought it'd be, I don't know.
But some stuff holds up, some stuff doesn't.
It's just not for me.
Some stuff, time helps it tremendously.
Yeah.
Like Lost, that's another example where time helps it tremendously. In real time, you felt every second of that writer's strike when it was going on and how bad it affected the show. But now that you have the whole thing and you go back and stuff, you're like, yeah, it dips a little, but its dip is still so much better than so much stuff that we get these days.
Lost could have, it has so much potential though too, where they were going with that story. Like they kind of screwed the ending there. I thought
there's a reason why you pay good writers good money.
Yes,
I never saw that all the way through. I think I got as far as like they found the hatch. They went down into the hatch.
That's so early.
And then that was it.
But that was must watch. Like that was probably one of the last TV shows that I had to watch like weekly, like every week. Like I couldn't wait. Like I had to watch it when it aired.
Yeah.
I felt that way about The Walking Dead.
For a long time, yeah.
Yeah. So, but I don't know what happened. Something happened in my life where I did not watch any more Lost. Like they went down into the bunker thing, and then I don't think I saw anything after that. I don't know. I either work changed or something, and I just never got back into it. I should probably
now's the time to go back and rewatch it all, Jim. Don't worry, there's only 20 something episodes a season.
Yeah.
So wait, what season was that?
5 or 6 episodes, or I'm sorry, 5 or 6 seasons, right?
I think it has 6 seasons.
When they found the bunker thing,
like
that's like
season 3 is the hatch, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm like, how many more are there?
Dude, you're 2/3 of the way through it. I'm sorry, you're 1/3 of the way through it. I can't do that.
Yeah, I don't think so. All right. Well, on that note.
Yeah, well, I appreciate everybody popping on today. Hope y'all have a good one.
Yeah.
Next time.
Bye.
Where are we going?
Smoke bomb. Smoke bomb.
Peace.
Mommy ain't going with us.
I know, Mom. Geez.